Welcome, Giants fans. Welcome to another live of Big Pass Sports Talk. And the NFL schedule it just came out. Our schedule was out, man. And I'm gonna break it down for you, break it down the wins, losses, and everything of our Giants schedule right now, man. This schedule is not that bad, man. The schedule is not that bad. I believe we have a decent schedule if our team plays up to their capabilities. I don't see no why we can't get 10 to 11 to 12 wins this year. I'm really excited about this team's ability to get W's this year, man. What's going on, Miz? What's going on, champ? Let me put the link in the chat. You guys can call in and help me break down this Giant schedule. Joe, what's going on, man? If you guys want to call in, go ahead and call in, man, so we can break down this Giant schedule, man. Getting a little late start, was doing some things, but I got a video out earlier, but I want to go ahead and break it down live. If you guys want to call in, come on and call in because I haven't broke it down. Especially you, man. I definitely want you on this one. To break down this Giant schedule, man. I see big things for us, man. I really do. And thank you guys for always tuning in and always supporting. But we got a 17-game schedule. I could go over the preseason games to see exactly how we'll do in the preseason. Yeah, you guys come on in, man. Waiting for you guys to come in. But we play the Jets. You know, we always play the Jets, the Patriots. We really always play all three of these teams in the preseason every year. I'm actually excited for the preseason. I'm excited to see what's going on, Logan.
What's good, bro?
Hey, we're going to break down this Giant schedule for a little bit, how long you can tune in. We'll be breaking it down, but until everybody gets in, you know, I'm going to talk about the little preseason games we got. I'm actually excited for the preseason games. I want to see our draft picks do what they do. I want to see Rodarius Williams. I want to see John Ross to see what he can do. I want to see the running back that we drafted to see what he does. Hey, Logan, I think you got it playing in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Nathan, that's a hard question. I really can't name two linebackers on the Eagles.
Me neither.
What's going on, Joe?
It's all going all right. How are you guys doing tonight?
Cool. I'm waiting for the Miz to pop in. I'm waiting for Ash to pop in. JDW,
right.
You can pop in as well if you want to. I know you're a Colts fan, but you can pop in when you want to as well.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I cannot name two linebackers on the Eagles. Viz, what's going on, bro? Thank you for tuning in.
Speaking of Viz, apparently Viz told me my audio was so bad it sounded like I was recording my voice on a expired beef jerky stick.
What's up, King Tone? Thank you for always tuning in, man. What's going on? But hey, Joe, we're gonna get into it once Miz and Ash pops in, and then we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, I had to get my mind off some stuff here today.
You're all right?
Well, I don't want to go too into detail, but my neighbor's house caught on fire and they got him out, but he didn't make it today. So.
Oh damn! I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that,
it's all right. You know, he always stopped down to the fishing pole, and he was just an older gentleman, and I'd get him fish and clean them, and you know how you get that neighborhood friendly feel, and then and that's where I live. There's probably 10 or 12 of us. We throw block parties and everything, so we all look out for each other. And I was sitting inside today, heard a big old boom, and it was his place going up.
Damn, man, I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
That's all right. I gotta get my mind off of it a little bit. I'm sitting here going stir crazy and everything, and I know he'd want me to move on, so I got to move on. So I'll talk a little football and get my stuff together. I appreciate you guys, and Man, I'm almost at 30 subscribers now. I want to thank a lot of people for that. I didn't think I'd be up that fast so far, and Pat having me on, and you guys pushing my channel for me. That means a lot to me. I want to give a big thank you to everybody involved in getting me up and started and running. I was going to have a video out today, but I'm going to have one tomorrow to get my mind off everything.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Joe, you got a hit, man. What you doing that cooking and do a video cleaning fish? I'm telling you, you got a hit, bro. I'm like, I'm ready for the next thing. I want you to do a roast. I want you to do, man, you got a hit, bro. I'm telling you, you keep doing that, you're gonna be monetized immediately.
Joel's gonna roast those Daniel Jones haters.
Working on it. Hey, man,
what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry, Joel. I know I spoke to you earlier. Sorry about you losing your friend today.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope he's in a peaceful place up above. Pretty much. I don't know what else to say.
That's one thing we got to learn as a people as well, man. Life is not guaranteed, man. You can be here in 1 second. Go ahead.
That's why I'm doing my channel the way I'm doing it, Pat. You know, it's like I'm just like the party reminder. Enjoy that day. Enjoy that moment, because they're not guaranteed. And you know, hug your family. If you've got something going on with your kids, go do it. If you've been too busy, because we all know life gets in the way. But plan a camping trip. Take your kids to the park. Even go out to a movie, but enjoy that experience.
Exactly. Shoot. I was throwing for a rut when my mom passed. You know, we talked a lot, and that was just taken away in a split second. You know, like it had me down for a while. But I know, hey, this is one of the things she wanted me to be doing. She always told me I should have my own show. So
that's
the reason why I worked for myself now. You know.
And you got a real damn good show, Pat. You got a good one, man. People look forward to you. Like when you said I'm going live right now, I was like, the last few days I haven't been into it. Have you noticed? I've been going through something. I also lost my mother 5 years ago, but my brother's homeless and he's an addict. My brother's an addict, so we're going through that with my brother, trying to get him to a program. How are you, man? So I'm going through a rough time with my brother, trying to save his life, as he's abusing drugs and he chooses to live in the streets instead of
same thing.
I think we finally got through to him. So
hopefully you did. Same thing with my father. You know, I broke that trend though with our family curse. The men on my dad's side, you know, they chose drugs and other various things out there in these streets, and I've actually broke that trend. I've never touched heavy drugs in my life. With the Most High's help, I never will. Drug use it hurts, man. They don't realize that they're not only hurting themselves, they're hurting their families.
Yeah, they're hurting their friends and people around.
As you can see, Miz is usually an upbeat guy, but you see what drug use does, and he's not even doing them. It's his brother.
No. So, but I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you one thing, Joel. This thing right here, this sports, this Giants thing that bring our whole Giant nation together. We didn't even know each other a long time ago, and now we're all like a family, and we look forward to this a couple of times a week, and we look forward to looking at each other's videos during the days. It's becoming bigger than turning on ESPN, man. I don't even turn them on anymore, man. So this is huge, and we have a big year to look forward to, and it's gonna be exciting.
It's hard to hear that too, King Tone. You know. I really don't have either one of my parents, but hey, look, the only parent I really need is the Most High, man. He guides me every day. He tells me what I need to do. He lets me meet new people. Like, man, I can't wait till the day that we can all go to Giant Stadium and just chill. You know how epic that day is gonna be?
Right.
It's gonna happen. I'm telling you, we're too close. It's gonna happen.
You know, it's like Miz's situation, what he's going through. He's doing all he can do to help his brother, but the absolute hardest part of it is getting the other person to accept the help.
Yep.
And you bend over backwards to get that person the help, and you do what you can do. And the hardest part is when you come to terms with yourself. It's like, I've done everything I can. That's the most heartbreaking right there.
Yep.
My heart goes out to you, Miz.
Can't agree more. That is, my heart does go out to you though, for real, Miz. But because it's the hardest part to realize and accept that it doesn't matter how much you do. You could throw $1 billion at him. You could throw $1 zillion at him. You can throw all the help that you can. It's only up to him, and it's up to basically. Yeah, he has to want. He has to want it, man.
Sometimes I'm trying to do it for him, and everybody's saying, "Yo, he's using you because he knows that you have a heart, and he keeps on using you, but he really doesn't want it, you know."
And Miz, no disrespect. I know you're a guy. I could just tell through the energy, through the streams. You're a guy that protects your own. You go hard for your kids. You go hard for your friends. You go hard for people that you know. And I'm here to tell you, no disrespect. Sometimes you gotta let go, and when you do let go, a lot of the times that's when the people realize what the hell they're doing, and they be like, you know what, I gotta get myself together. Losing you will probably be one of the hardest things in his life. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah. Listen, Pat, man, it's hard to. I can't give up because listen, I did what people told me to for about 5 or 6 weeks. I turn my back and let's see if he does it on his own. And then I get a phone call that your brother's sleeping in the subways, man. So I had to go get him, you know, because I can't allow that. My heart won't allow it. Yeah, so and in New York City to be sleeping in the subways is a rough place, man. New York City and the subways is man. You know,
dangerous. You know how big the subways are in New York? I've been to New York one time and I was amazed how big it was. I'm from Chicago, and Chicago's not even that big. Chicago's big as hell, but New York, that is not a place where you don't want no roof over your head. I'm telling you that now.
No, man, it's a bad place, man. You don't want to. And I'll tell you another thing. Since this pandemic, this city's gotten 1,000 times worse. There's more homeless now than there has ever been since the 80s. Since the 80s, man.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't know how your guys' biblical thing is. I don't know what you praise and what your religion is. I truly don't believe in religion. I think it's just here to confuse us. There's only one God, and that's the King of Kings, the Most High. But if you read Deuteronomy, it tells you times are going to get very, very hard. That's why I'm doing things like this, working for myself now. Those jobs and everybody scared of, those 9-to-5s are going to stop. It's really going to get messed up out here, man. There's going to be people like Joel who can know how to fish and teach people how to survive for themselves, or people like you, Miz, who have big hearts, great hearts. I can see you taking people in, helping people through these things, because people are going to need people. I say within like the next 10 to 15 years, man, you're going to see. And you be like, you know what? Pat was right. I'm telling you. You read that Bible, you read it for what it is. I know this is a sports channel. I'm going to get off of it in a second. But would you read it for what it really is and really read the Bible and decode what it says? Everything that's happening now, man, that book in the Old Testament is true. Like to a T. It explains everything. And that's crazy. That's kind of scary sometimes too. But I wish you guys the best, man. Hopefully I can cheer you guys up before you leave the stream tonight, and we always have a good time like we do.
Let me tell you one thing, man. We're going 1-0, and that puts a smile on my face. We're going 1-0. Yeah, right. And we'll see where we go from there, but we're going 1-0.
You know what I don't get? People have been saying the Broncos aren't that good, but as soon as the Giants have to face them, their defense is the best defense in the league.
Right.
That's all right. Hey, we'll take it, man. Take the hate, man.
Speaking of 1-0, we got the Broncos first week of the season. Fox is going to be the afternoon game. I'm probably going to get the Saints, but I'll be streaming it. I believe we go 1-0 this game. Reason why? The main reason why? A healthy Saquon Barkley destroys the Broncos because they cannot stop the run. I don't care about them getting Fuller and who they got out there. Surtain. Darby is garbage, you know. So
I
think we go 1-0.
They got Surtain, right? The guy's a rookie. He's gonna be in his very first NFL game. Are you serious? Who's he gonna hold? Kenny Galladay?
I'm gonna tell you now, he's a cover 3 cornerback. He's not a man-on-man cornerback to me. I've watched him in Alabama his whole career. He's a cover 3 guy. He's way better in zone than he is and man-to-man coverage.
Well,
Plus, rookie corners almost never perform well their first year.
Who's going to be the starting quarterback? That's the question. Is it going to be Locke or is it going to be,
it's Teddy too. It's Teddy.
I think it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm not scared of Locke or Bridgewater. I'm not even scared of the Broncos if we played them with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the Broncos at all.
Thank you, Pat. I said that in the gym today. I told the guys, let them have Rodgers. We're still beating them week 1. I ain't like that.
The reason I say that is because the Giants historically have had trouble with a scrambling quarterback. And if it's Bridgewater, he's got that ability to run. If it's Locke, he's just going to be a target back there.
Bridgewater is not the scrambling quarterback he once was, and he was never that great in the first place at scrambling when he got in there. Bridgewater has totally been watered down since that injury, and I think he's just a bridge quarterback for the rest of his career. I believe he starts week 1 because I believe John Elway wants to create a spark with that team, but it doesn't happen with us. We beat them 31-13. I got us with a 1-1. I got us starting off 1-0.
I do too.
I don't see that team beating us at all.
I think we go 1-0.
That's
Are we
bad
all
place.
Are we all in agreement with week 1?
To travel to.
Are we all in agreement with week 1?
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody got us starting off 1-0. There we go, Adam.
Yeah.
What's going on, Adam?
There he is.
How are you?
Cool. I got us starting
Adam?
off 1-0. Everybody on the panel agrees. Do you agree we beat the Broncos 1-0? I really don't need to go into detail, but if you want me to, I will. But I think we start off 1-0.
We better beat those fucking Broncos.
All right. So everybody's in agreement. Now, on the short week, Thursday, the second Thursday night game, we go against those Washington football team guys. Now, this one here, this was kind of tricky to me. For the past 5 years, we've been absolutely terrible on Thursday night football. And this is off a short week. We have to go to Washington.
Not that far.
Not that far. I'm kind of split on this one. I'm still going to give us the dub because I believe Ryan Fitzpatrick is the key in this game. If Ryan Fitzpatrick plays dynamite, I think they beat us. But if he doesn't play well, I think we beat them because I believe our defense can outlast Washington's defense against our offense. I have more confidence in our offense against their defense than their offense against our defense. So that's why I give us the dub here. What you guys think starting off with Logan?
I hate to be that guy. I'm gonna have us going 1-1. I think we're gonna split with Washington. They're not a scrub team anymore. Ryan Fitzpatrick obviously is an elite quarterback, but he's better than what they had last year, and that defense is scary. I think we're gonna split with them, and I think this will be the one we lose. I think we'll win home, and they'll win home. So I'll give us the loss.
All right. To combat you with that, though, Logan, I don't think their defense is that scary. If your offensive line holds up against the Washington football team, I think you beat them. We exploited their secondary last year with Slayton, and that was it. And I know they got William Jackson III, but Slayton ate him alive last year. And
that is true.
Good. And Fuller's good, but I don't see William Jackson III or Fuller be able to shut down Galladay at all. At all. I don't see him be able to do anything. And I think with Slayton having the freedom of being a number 2 and not a number 1 again, double teamed all year, I think Slayton can get 800 to 1,000 yards this year.
I personally
really do.
I think Tony's actually going to be our number 1 receiver. I mean, our number 2 receiver.
I think Tony's going to be our gadget receiver his first year. I believe we use him in different varieties his first year.
If the offensive line holds its own, I think it's a W. But if we have struggles the first few weeks of the season, I think it's a loss. But I think we'll keep it within 1 score if we lose.
Okay, let's get Joel on the frame. What you think, Joel?
I'm going to say
night
this
against
is a
Washington.
We're going 2-0. Yeah, Fitzpatrick doesn't scare me, and they got the same problem we do. Their offensive line. I think our defense is going to be better than their offensive line. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. Fitzpatrick's going to have to throw the ball 50 times. If we get up by 10 points or more, this is our game to lose.
You know what? Screw it. Joel changed my mind. We're going 2-0.
All right. What you think, Miz?
If you watch my video today, you already know what I think. So I think that I'm very big on dues. when a team's due and when they're not due. We've taken advantage of this team for a couple of years, and I think that coach will have them really ready for us. Like same way we're gonna be ready to play the Eagles, they're gonna be ready to play us. So I feel like week 2 in Washington, we're gonna lose and be 1-1. I see a very tight game. We're talking 23-20, Washington. Something
I got
like
a
that.
quick question for you, Miz. Who do you have more faith on, Shane Lemieux or Eric Flowers?
Eric Flowers. Oh yeah,
No, I
he is
know.
on that, right?
I know what you're saying. Listen, I try to keep things even and as real as I can as I went through the schedule today. And Washington's going to be a real good team. I think we're winning the division. I think if we jump ahead, which we won't, but I think we beat them in the last week of the season for the division. So I'm going to give them week 2.
You gonna give Washington football team week 2?
Yeah, I'm going to give them week 2. I'm going to try to keep it as fair as I can. And I think Washington. Listen, man, I looked at all the schedules already, and you're going to have a very tight race between Giants, Dallas, and Washington. I'm talking about maybe one of the tightest races ever. It's going to come down to the last week. That's what I feel.
Yeah. JDW, what's going on, man? Got you on the show. What's good, bro?
I know, about time, man, right? About time.
And by the way, go check out his channel. He's a Colts fan. He is very informative about his Colts. And I actually think his Colts are going to be pretty damn good this year, even with Carson Wentz out there. He's back with Frank Reich.
Sorry, Pat. Someone put him in the stream so I could link, so we could link up.
Yeah, I might have to do that because I think Joseph is asleep. I'm gonna go to his channel and put the link in there because I think Joseph is asleep. But what you think, man?
I'm gonna take the Giants. I think the Giants win this one. Okay, I know coming off a short week and all, but I think the Giants are a little better than the Washington football team.
I believe Saquon.
They have Saquon. Daniel Jones can run it not just as good, but he can still run it very well. You got those good young receivers. You got a really deep core. I think you guys will be fine. And I think the pass rush, I honestly think your guys' pass rush can get to Fitz.
Okay, cool. That's another thing. Saquon Barkley just kills the Redskins for some reason. I don't know why he has his best. Same thing with Daniel Jones. He always has his best games against the Redskins. So, not the Redskins, the football team. I'm so sorry. Don't count
that too. But until they beat us, I got to give us the W. It's just like we were with Dallas and the Eagles.
All right, Adam, what you think, Adam?
That's the very thing that scares me, guys, is that we haven't beaten them in so long, and they're going to have that game circled, man. So
we can have that game circled, too. Let's go get them. This is good. They won one game. They weren't even better than us in the division, okay? Because of the Philadelphia Eagles, the Giants not in the playoff. Okay? 2 plays. The Evan Ingram not catching the football and the Eagles lying down. They're not that impressive of a football team. So I think we beat them. I think we steal this game because we need to steal these games. Because if you look at the last 3, they're all or the last 3 divisional games are basically all in December. You got December 19th, 26th, and January. That's all going to be for the division. So you need to get out to an early lead. I think they're going to steal one against the Washington Redskins. I'm going to call them the Redskins because, I don't care. You know what I mean? They're the Redskins to me. They will be, they have been, and they'll stay that way until they come up with a name. But the reason I say this is because, again, when I tell you 8 weeks to learn a new offense, Fitzpatrick ain't never played in Ron Rivera's system before. So you got to give him credit. You got to give him some time to adjust with what's going on. So that's why I think this game is going to be a prime time to steal for the Giants.
I just call them the Washington potatoes.
Washington no names.
I don't know. I don't really think Fitz is gonna have a problem adjusting. He's been in so many different systems. I think he'll be okay, but you never know. I think it's what Big Pat said. I think it's either if you get a hot or cold Fitz.
I'm
not worried about Fitzpatrick either way. He's not that great of a quarterback. He's a streaky guy. It's not like we're playing Patrick Mahomes week 2. We're playing Ryan Fitzpatrick. He has more teams under his belt than he does years in the league. Come on now.
Like I've been saying,
I'll be honest. I think Fitzpatrick is better down the stretch rather than better at the start of the season. So I think you'll be good in those first 2 games.
Cool. So, do you believe we beat them week 2, or do you believe
Yeah,
we
I
take
think
an
you
L
gotta
week 2?
beat them. I think you go beat them week 2.
Okay, so Miz has us losing, and he has
I'm the
us
only one who has us losing.
Yeah, I'm.
All right, so so when we lose, I can brag. Nah, I can't do that.
All right, let's get to week 3, and thank you, Big Play Slay. Even though you're an Eagles fan, for being in here, but you know when
Yeah,
we
I
get to the
got you,
Eagles
man.
game, you're gonna get it.
Oh,
but-
sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings over there.
At least Big Play
man.
Slay is not a toxic Eagles fan. He's a good dude.
yeah, he's laid back, man.
He's
All
an
right.
Eagles fan. They're
A
all
lot of
toxic
Eagles
to me.
fans. A lot of Eagles fans really get to you. You know, I went to an Eagles game dressed up in all Colts gear. Big mistake.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Listen,
Logan,
all
Keep
right,
my
the game
boy
in
Carson Wentz
2007 against the
happy
Eagles.
there, over there in Indy.
Listen,
Week
I went to the
3.
game in 2007. The Giants had 12 sacks. I sat down in my seat. I was talking to my Giant friend, and the first sack happens. I slap his hand and said, "Man, that's great." These 2 Eagle fans sitting in front of me look at me and go, "Huh, yeah, right." I said to them, "That's going to happen all night." 12 sacks later, didn't even finish the game sitting next to me. So I'm just saying, you know, all Eagle fans to me are the same. Doesn't matter how cool you
Eagles
are.
fans, like, I'll be honest, Eagles fans, like, in, like, the stadium, when it's, like, jam-packed, or, like, some of the wildest fans, like, you could ever meet.
I don't know if you guys ever heard this story.
Yeah.
My dad went to an Eagles game one time, and these people threw beer all over a 6-year-old boy.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that happens.
like
a
I
lot.
said, that's the only franchise that beat up Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Batteries at him.
But
Logan, you gotta be careful. If you keep calling them the Washington potatoes, you're gonna have people in Idaho mad at you.
I love potatoes, my guy.
That's
I'm Irish.
All right, let's get to week 3.
be careful.
fellas.
You'll get none.
All right, week 3 we face the Atlanta Falcons, but they come to us. Now I can say this game could be a tricky game, but I got us winning. I don't have faith in Atlanta's defense, and to be honest with you, I'm not scared of their offense either. They got a nice offense. I'm not going to lie to you with Matty Ice, Pitts, Julio Jones, and Ridley. But who's to say Julio Jones will be healthy for this game? Who's to say he even be a Falcon this game?
I don't want to be that guy, but I think Julio Jones is washed.
And Pitts is a rookie. We're gonna put Peppers on Pitts in most cases. Just let him run around with him, see what he does. But I don't see the Falcons having enough firepower to stop us. I believe our offense is too strong for their defense, and I believe our defense can hold their own against Atlanta. I got us winning this game. I got us winning like a 27-20 or 27-17.
Yeah.
But I got us starting off 3-0. What you got, Logan?
I think it's a W. I'll have like 13-20. I mean, it's not going to be a very high scoring game, I think, but I think we'll get the win in the end.
Okay. Joe, what you got?
It's a win, 28-3.
What?
28-3.
That
So
one
you
hurts,
really want to
Falcons
hold the
fan.
Falcons offense?
Listen,
You going
listen.
in there, man.
Listen, Julio is old. He's 32 years old.
He's still productive. He still could be
He
productive.
is productive, but we have Bradbury.
That's true.
I'm not scared of him.
Me neither.
Our secondary, so you put Pitts in the slots. I have confidence in Holmes and this kid that we drafted this year in the 3rd round. They're going to be fighting for that position. We got a second corner now. What is it? Adoree Jackson? Isn't that his name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Adoree Jackson Ridley matchup is a really good one. I think we win that one.
And you guys have Logan Ryan too.
Yeah, our secondary is so much improved. They've only got 2 guys. They don't have a run game. Their ground game, Matt Ryan, you put a little pressure on him, he folds.
What do you?
I don't see how they're going to do anything.
What do you guys?
On the throat.
What do you guys think hurts a fan base more, wide right or 28-3?
Dude, I called wide right. I love that play.
Yeah.
I called.
I have a Scott Norwood card. I'm thinking about framing it.
I called that in Batavia, New York, in a hotel full of Bills fans.
Oh, right. You told that story one time.
Yes. I thought they were going to kill me.
What's going on, Chris? Hey, Miz, what you got for me on with the Falcons, man?
Yeah, I think I could see it being one of these games
Chris
where
wants
we
my
fall.
beard. Everybody wants.
We have this every year, man, and I know we're better this year than we've been. But even when we were good, we always had this one of these games where we sleep the first half and we have to fight back to win the game. I can feel the Giants having to come back to win the game in the fourth quarter, 28-20.
And that's very possible with the Falcons. They do it every year. I mean, this team is absolutely stupid. Like
It's
they
going to be
give up.
34-28. I'm telling you right now. Final score.
This is the only team I've ever seen that can have a 42 to like 13 lead and lose 45-42. I've never seen it in my life, and it's consistently done. What you got for me, JDW?
I have a question for you guys first. What role does Logan Ryan play? Do you guys think he'll play in the slot, or do you think he'll play safety?
He's a safety.
He's safety.
Okay.
He's safety because I believe we allowed not Julius Pepper, but Jabril Peppers to play free this year. He's going to play that money linebacker role a whole lot more. Xavier McKinney is our starting strong safety or free safety, and Logan Ryan's that other safety because we got those two kids that we drafted back-to-back years, and Aaron Robinson and Darnay Holmes to hold down that slot. I believe we play a press man blitz defense this year for the most part, except if we play a team like Dallas or the Chiefs, maybe even these Falcons that can spread you out. But the Falcons' offensive line is trash, and they have no running game. So I believe we blitz the hell out of the Falcons. And like I said,
and
that 28-3 score is pretty
Falcons.
heavy. But if it does happen, I wouldn't be surprised. But give me your prediction, JDW.
That's why I think you said it there. I think the Giants are going to be able to blitz and run over and just steamroll this Falcons offensive line. This offensive line isn't going to stand a chance, and that's going to get to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan can't really move. He's got a good arm, and I think he's a little underrated at this point in his career. Yeah, he does choke a lot, but at the end of the day, he's very talented. But I think the defense is going to get to him, and if he doesn't have time to get the ball to his weapons, how good are his weapons?
Right.
And yeah, another thing, Bradbury has played Julio Jones pretty much his whole career.
Yep.
I will say that what Joel mentioned about us not being scared of him. Bradbury has always played Julio Jones pretty damn well, even when he was with the Panthers. He was one of the main reasons to watch the AFC South. That Jones, man, he played some receivers over there, didn't he? Play Evans, he played Jones, he played Thomas,
DeAndre Hopkins. Moore.
Metcalf. I think Bradbury played Metcalf, right? And he did pretty good against Metcalf.
He did pretty good against Metcalf as well. What you got for me, Adam?
Stiff armed him to death.
First off, fellas, don't be scared of nobody. All right, our defense is that good. Don't be scared of anybody. Second off, like JD said, I don't think Matt Ryan can move this much. I think this game favors the Giants. Any team that doesn't have a mobile quarterback is going to favor the Giants because they blitz very well. They can get to a quarterback that doesn't move too well. As you saw last year, they had some trouble with some guys who can run the football. Lamar Jackson last year, when they played them, they looked lost. They had no answer for the guy. You could tell by the defense's body language. So to answer your question, I think they can match up very well against Seattle. Against the Falcons. I just see them winning. I think they're going to win 28-21 because I think the defense doesn't give up more than 20 points. That's what they did last year. I'm going to stick with that. So.
What about 34-28?
No, I said what I said. 28-21.
I don't see too many games on our schedule where we give up more than 24 points. I say Dallas can do it. I say the Chiefs can do it. Maybe the Buccaneers. I think we match up pretty damn well with the Buccaneers, though. But I don't see too many teams blowing up against us like that. What you got for me, Big Play?
I think the Giants going to average, like you said, Pat, around 23 points a game in terms of defense. And I think that's going to be what the factor is. They need to hold the teams around 20 points because their offense is going to need to score 28. Let's see if they can do that because of Jason Garrett. But that's how I feel this defense is going to improve, is creating more turnovers, creating pressure, and keeping teams under that 20-point range.
Cool. I do have us 3-0 within the first 3 games. I have us beating the Falcons. Big Play, what you got for me?
I got the Giants winning this game. Like JD said, Well, I mean, one of you guys said that. What is it called? Matt Ryan isn't a mobile quarterback, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Giants win this game because they've improved on both sides of the ball. They were good on defense last year, and they've gotten better on offense this year. And I think that's one of the reasons they win this game because they've gotten better at something the Falcons are good at, and that's going to help them win this game.
Cool. Hey, Ash, you
Yo,
there?
what's going on?
All right. Basically, all of us got us 3-0 within the first 3 games, except for Miz. He has us taking the L to the football team in week 2 because of the short week. And I do believe this might be the year we split with those guys because we've been beating those guys pretty handily like the last 5 years. Like we're like 8-2 like the last 5 years.
Miz will get to brag.
Who does Washington face week 1?
I
think they face the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
It's the Chargers.
If Ryan Fitzpatrick comes out there and dinks and dunks, we're sweeping in Washington.
Right.
Don't they still have Taylor Heineke?
Yeah, they
had Taylor Heineke, but that was a playoff game. And like I tell everybody, when you first come to the league and nobody has film on you, you're going to have some decent success in the league when you first come out if you have any type of talent. And once they get film on you, it's a whole different ball game.
You look at last year with the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, like once they played the Saints, they didn't have any film on Jalen Hurts. This year when they play Jalen Hurts, it's probably going to be different because now they have film on him. And when they play him, they're going to have actual film to look at, to like view him as a quarterback.
Yeah. So what you got us going in the first 3 games, Ash?
I would say my biased answer would be 3-0. My knowledgeable answer would be 3-0, but I could see 2-1. I could see it. We play Atlanta at home, or do we play them away?
No, we play them at home. That's another reason why I said we beat them. They're not in that dome.
Yeah, so we'll win that. Washington, I'm gonna have to see what Washington does week 1 against the Chargers. If we go out and we ball out and then Washington loses versus the Chargers, I say we'll beat them.
Who knows? That could motivate them to get that first.
That makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah,
because they got dangerous because I think they will lose at LA against the Chargers and then come home and be a lot more edgy. You know, like it's more of an important game for them.
Yeah, because they got a reputation to uphold this year for once. People got expectations for them.
And it's a division game too.
But Miz just pointed it out. Miz just pointed it out. They got to go out to the West Coast and then come back and then play on a short week. That's gonna hurt.
That's what I was gonna say, Joe.
That is true.
Yes.
We on the West Coast too, and we at Denver or are we at home against Denver?
Oh, we're at home.
Home.
Oh, so we got a shorter trip than Washington then.
Yep.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
I know y'all talking about the football and stuff, but Joe, I just want to say I pay my respects. I didn't get to see who you lost, but I know somebody close, so I pay my respects.
Oh, Ashton, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was my neighbor.
Yeah, I lost my dad 2 years ago in December 2019 to cancer, but he did I guess y'all are talking about drugs. I don't know if he lost to drug addiction or anything. I don't know the full story because I was at my friend's house. But, my dad did drugs and stuff, so yeah.
Right.
Death could be rough, sometimes.
Yeah, that's always hard, man.
I mean to bring the whole vibe down, but I just wanted to pay my respect.
Oh, you cool, man.
Yeah, you're fine, bud.
All right,
Joe, you made me upload my vlog I did when I went to Ohio with my family because I saw your video, your cooking video. I was like, you know what? Let me upload my vlog because I've been sitting on it. If y'all want to check that out, y'all can. I put it on my sports channel, but
yeah, I caught it.
Yeah, I was sitting on it for a while, but Joe, you made me want to do mine. upload.
I'm telling you, man, that doggone Joel channel's gonna be a hit, man. You keep making those cooking things, boy.
Joel's gonna be the first ever YouTuber to get 1 billion subscribers.
Oh, I doubt that. I'm not that popular.
All right, we're gonna get to week 4, fellas, against them New Orleans Aints. I'm gonna say, depending on, I don't really care which quarterback plays, Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston.
Taysom Hill's a tight end.
I think you can see a little bit of both, to be honest. You could. I think it's possible.
I just think this team is not going to be what it used to be because Drew Brees was an actual coach on the field as well.
Yeah.
And I believe with Jameis Winston in there, that decreases Alvin Kamara's value as well. I believe he comes easier to guard because you're not so worried about Drew Brees picking you apart because Jameis Winston is just like Fitzpatrick. He's going to give you one. All you got to do is catch it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was telling people, I was like, don't be surprised if Jameis comes out balling because, I don't know, I just had this feeling like he really had some problems with his eyes down in Tampa. And I think Sean Payton would be able to coach those problems out of him.
No, they don't have the weapons that that they had as well. I think we beat these guys too. I believe we get these guys like a 31-24 or 31-20. Their defense is good. It's actually pretty doggone good. But I think Saquon Barkley makes them change their whole outlook on their defense. I don't think they faced a running back over there in the NFC South that scares them throughout the whole year because McCaffrey's always hurt. But when McCaffrey is healthy, he always does good against them. And Saquon Barkley's the same type cat. If Daniel Jones gets his pocket presence up and dumps that ball off to Barkley, they don't have a linebacker or a safety that can keep up with him.
And you guys are also forgetting Marshawn Lattimore got arrested, so who's gonna cover Kenny Galladay?
He was gonna get benched anyway. That guy's he's an idiot. But I think we beat those guys.
Hey Pat, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna bounce out and I'm gonna join on my computer.
Okay. But yeah, I think we beat those guys, and we get a surprising start, fellas. We start off 4-0 in my book. What you got, Logan?
Oh, this could go either way. I think if we're gonna win, you're good. I was saying, if we win, it's gonna have to be a low-scoring defensive game. So I have us winning. Let's go 14-10 Giants.
I can see that happening as well.
Well, my opinion, Jameis Winston is going to be the 30 for 30 guy until he changes. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. If you pressure Jameis, he throws picks. There was something to do with his eyesight. He had LASIK or something like that. But I didn't see him play that much last year. He played 4 plays, threw 1 touchdown on a gimmick play. Taysom Hill, he's just going to be a running quarterback, can throw the ball. But again, our secondary is going to be top 5. I have no question or doubt about that. So, in my mind, this is going to be Ojulari's breakout game. He's going to have 3 games under his belt, and he's going to just chase Winston all over the field and make him throw picks. Giants win 34-17.
Yeah, sorry, real quick.
Where is this game at again?
New Orleans.
New Orleans, man.
It's at the Dome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
The truth is that the Giants, New Orleans has been a snake pit to the Giants, man. The Giants have had real nightmares there. Even in a game when they scored 49, they gave up 52. Remember that game? So
yeah, 52-49.
Yeah, and Eli had a sick game, and they still couldn't pull it out. But the thing is, I'm a big believer that the same team this year without Brees. I think I was the first one today with my friends to go on the record and said the Saints are not making the playoffs this year. And I can see the Giants in this game pulling out a very high game. Take the over here, okay? 31-28 Giants.
Nice.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to mention this. I saw this thing on Twitter by TPS. It said the NFL draft is too damn long. If I wanted to see 32 picks in 3 hours, I would just watch Jameis Winston play.
JD, I also wanted to throw in there, Pat, that once again, I'm going with the theme of I've always been like this my whole life, a lot of years, man. I look at schedules, I look at streaks, and I see who's due to beat someone because they haven't beaten them in a long time. And once again, the Giants are due to beat the Saints in New Orleans. It's been a long time.
You ain't lying. We ain't beat the Saints in a long time.
That's like us. That's like us with Seattle. We ain't beat them in a long time too.
Yeah, what's up, Rick? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with the Giants to start 4-0. I think they could go after the Saints. Pressure Jameis, or whether it's Taysom or Jameis, but whatever quarterback that's gonna be back there, they're probably gonna be running. So I just think the Giants have a good enough defense to stop them, and I think they could score more points.
Pat, I like this guy. I'm definitely subbing up to him. He's all right in my book.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is a great
how do we meet, JD? I don't know if I checked your channel out first or you checked mine out first, but
I think we met on a Facebook post.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Yeah.
And man, I'm telling you, check out his channel, man. He has very good outtakes on
This dude,
all teams.
I think he's a secret Giants fan, my guy. Has us going 4-0.
I mean, the Giants have actually always been my second favorite team. To be quite honest with you.
I've
always really liked the Giants. I've always had a ton of respect. Never had a problem. Always loved Eli.
Hey, you know what? Since you're on and you're a Colts fan, I'll make you smile. And I'm being real. I'm not just saying this because you're here.
Okay.
I got the Colts as one of the teams to make a very far run. I could see the Colts in the AFC Championship against Kansas City.
To be honest,
I agree. I 1000% agree.
People know my Super Bowl pick is Rams Colts.
Ooh,
wow,
I like that.
I think Joel wants to say something.
The Colts team is so good that Wentz just being there and like complimenting with that whole team.
The offensive line
in the AFC
so
Championship.
good.
Huh?
At one point in time, I had a Burt Jones rookie card. JD should know who that is. Oh, he's sneaking.
I'm good with some older players, but not all older players. I know Jeff George though.
Yeah,
Jeff George was absolutely terrible.
Ryan Baldinger.
Jeff George is like a bad uncle.
But when he was in Illinois, he was all right. And I was kind of happy the Colts got him. And then I followed Peyton at Tennessee. And then when he went to the Colts, I was following the Colts. Of course, as a truck driver, I was in Indiana.
I said Rams
a lot. Indiana. So I was always in the truck stop, talk to Colts fans, see them all dressed up. The stadium's not too far away from right in Indianapolis. And if I was around there, it's like, your fans are the greatest because they would talk if I wore my Giants gear or not. It just didn't matter. So you guys were always, you in Kansas City. I always liked both of your teams being in the AFC.
Yeah. And also the Bills. The Bills are really good fans.
The Bills are strong, man. The Bills are strong.
Some of the Bills fans have definitely gotten a little rowdy lately, but of course your team's going to be good, and that's going to happen. But
everyone in the chat, I never said Rams Chargers. I said Rams Colts.
No, just for fun, we do it at the end of the Giants thing. At the end, we'll all give two teams that we think will be in the Super Bowl. Okay, but that's at the end, not now.
Yeah,
I got you.
Come on, Adam. What you think about the Saints, bro?
Listen, people, you guys forget this team was a playoff team last year. Okay, they got a good freaking defense. Mario Davis, Cameron Jordan. Our offensive line is going to be bullied. Okay, and not to mention the Giants are going to be overlooking this team because they're looking at the other team with the star on their helmet on October 10th. Okay, they're getting ready. They don't play well down in New Orleans. They're going to be like, oh, man, let's get hyped for the Cowboys. And the Saints are going to steal one on them because regardless of what you guys say, they won games without Drew Brees last year as quarterback. So they still have that same coaching staff. They still have that same ferocious defense. And they're going to be the rowdy down in New Orleans, bringing in New York. So let's see what the noise is going to do. This is going to be a tough test for the Giants. They haven't played in the dome like this with Joe Judge. And we'll see how they do against New Orleans. So
you got us with an L or dub, Adam?
I got an L on this one.
I don't blame you on this one. Only reason why I got us with a dub because it's just time for us to get on. I'm like Miz on certain things as well. It's just time. Just like I think we might split with Washington because it's just time. We beat them like 9 out of the last 10 times. It's just time for.
I hear you, but for some reason that defense is still good, and I just feel like the Giants will be geared up to play the Cowboys, and the Saints are just going to steal one.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I got you, Adam. Big play. What you got for me?
I'm going with the Saints here too. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game, but I think they still have a good, tenacious defense, and I think Jameis Winston will do fairly good, especially like being mentored by Drew Brees and still having that same coaching staff. I think that could really come into play in this game.
Okay, the Saints could go two ways this year. If Jameis Winston doesn't play up to par, I don't think they make the playoffs. If Jameis Winston plays good, I think they can make a deep run in the playoffs. It just depends on what Jameis Winston does, and that's a big if.
There's no like between in that.
Right. Either they're going to be very good or they're going to be last in the NFC South. I'll tell you that now.
Exactly.
Ash, what you got for me? Us against the Saints.
Oh, I think I touched on this before I headed out. Basically the same thing you said, to be honest. Jameis Winston, you know, if he's like coming out balling, you know, because we've seen Jameis Winston, like, we know he's able to, like, he has the ability to, you know, air the ball out and, you know, have a good season. It's just he threw for 30 interceptions the same season. So I mean, if he's balling, you know, that's gonna be a good game for us to see, like, how we do against them. I don't want to say we would, like, definitely win, because, you know, we don't really know that if he's balling, but I think I was winning that game, to be honest.
Okay.
Just because, you know, whenever we play Jameis, we really have like a good defense. We kind of like get to him a little bit. You know, the last time we played Jameis, he like aired us out because Janoris Jenkins was getting burnt by Mike Evans all game.
I'm going to say we got a totally different defense from the last time we played against Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think our defense is going to be able to hold up to par, and I think Bradbury is going to really like shut down Michael Thomas. So our only threat really that we have to worry about on the Saints is really Alvin Kamara, because I don't think do we even know like their other receivers for real?
Mike Evans. I mean, Michael Thomas.
They have
Michael Thomas.
Traquan Smith.
I know.
He's all right.
He hasn't showed up his whole career, man.
I'm just saying, Bradbury. I think Bradbury is going to shut down Michael Thomas. So that's why I was like, the only other threat for me is Kamara.
You want to know something? I don't think Michael Thomas has a big year this year.
Me neither.
I don't think that dude has a big year this year. I really don't. I think he gets around 700 to 800 yards, maybe. I just don't think that dude's. I think Drew Brees had a lot to do with that guy going off like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bradbury, those short possession catch routes, Bradbury is going to shut those down.
Right.
He's going to shut those down. So that's why I was like, literally the only threat in my mind is Alvin Kamara, you know, especially.
And we're putting Peppers on Alvin Kamara. I think they have Alvin Kamara followed by Peppers the whole game. Yeah. I truly believe that they're going to let him play that money backer role and let him follow Kamara. Not to say that he'll shut Kamara down, because Kamara is awesome in that offense. But I just don't see him going off causing us to lose that game.
Yeah.
But,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get to the next game. The Cowboys. This is my first L I'm giving the Giants. I believe this is at Dallas, correct?
Yeah, same here.
For some reason, we always find a way to lose at Dallas. We play Dallas at Dallas.
Pat, what are you reading my mind or something?
Yeah,
I was
like in the very beginning. Like I said, things have to change. In the very beginning, when Jerry World first created, we always beat them there when we had Eli. But like the 3 to 4 years, we always find a way to lose in Dallas. The Jason Witten game, it's just something that just like. I think we play a very hard game. I believe we have them down 20-10, and just something stupid happens. Jones gets a sack fumble or something, and they return it for a touchdown or return it to our 10 or something stupid.
Evan Ingram tips.
We sold We sold our souls to the devil in 2011 when we blocked the kick.
Right.
So, you know.
Like something stupid always happens, and I wouldn't mind the loss here. I think the Cowboys will be amped up. I believe we go 4-1. I believe the Cowboys be like 3-2, and Washington be like 3-2. You know, the Eagles. I'm sorry, big play. I don't think you have a win
0-5
throughout the first 5
You know
weeks.
what's crazy? You know what's crazy about the Eagles and big play Slay. I like respect you as an Eagles fan, but like when I live in Delaware, right? So I'm literally everybody in my school when I used to go to high school and stuff. They're all Eagles fans. So I have a hate for Eagles fans. The Eagles have the easiest schedule in the league, and they might only have like 5 wins or 4 wins.
It's sad, man. It is sad.
I mean, their schedule's not
One
easy
time,
because they're that
one
bad.
time we get an easy schedule. What's it called? It's the only year we're bad.
Yeah, in terms of like strength of schedule, they have like the easiest schedule in the whole entire league.
I wish I could feel sorry for them, but they're Eagles, so I can't. So,
Right. All right, Logan, what you got for us on the Cowboys game here, man?
Oh, I'm gonna go Giants lose. I
Yeah,
think the Giants will lose.
I'm telling you, man, it's just karma with this team, man. They
I'm gonna
always
go-
find a way to get us.
I'm gonna do Cowboys 21-17.
All right, Joe, what you got for him?
All right, here we go. Barkley wasn't here last game last year at Dallas. He got hurt before they played. Barkley's going to go off because he does have a pretty good running game when we play Dallas. Here's where Tony breaks out because I called Tony Beckham 2.0. Dallas is going to find out what Tony's all about against that bad secondary. I think he starts this game. Judge is going to remind this team, look at how we lost last year. We didn't do the little things. They're going to be amped up. This is a division game. I'm going to say Giants 34, Dallas 10.
You know what? I changed my mind.
Joe,
oh, no, man, these are locked in. These are set in stone. You can't change them.
Yeah, you can't
That's
change.
right. That's how
Joe just
Bernie-
gets everyone hyped.
Joe, I'll say this: we're gonna get this going pretty good, because I know it's gonna be getting late for you guys, especially you guys out there in New York. It's almost 12.
Yeah.
No, we got
You
all night,
give us
Pat.
some
Don't worry about it.
I'm
We
here
got
all night.
Yeah, baby.
baby.
I'm a night owl.
This is a big night right here, man. This is a big night.
I
I gotta talk to Joel real quick though. You've been giving some
Okay.
vicious scores.
Yeah,
He said Atlanta 28-3,
Hey,
Cowboys 34-10.
listen. Like you know what? We sit here, we watch teams every year. They go 6-10, 7-9, 8-8. Sometimes they're even worse than that. 5-11. Look at the 49ers. Now, yeah, Garoppolo was hurt. They had a team already built, but because the quarterback down, they played bad, got Bosa. The rest is history. Went to the Super Bowl. We had a killer free agency, okay? We are all hyped up about this team. Joe Judge, we know, is a no-nonsense coach. He's teaching the little things. These guys learned that last year. Now these guys are teaching the rookies that are coming out. We feel that we had one of the top drafts in the NFL this year. All right, we got guys who want to play.
Mhm.
If we're going to be Giants fans, you know what? We haven't been able to show this much hype or have this much hope in 10 years.
Yeah.
Even when we went 11-5, we did not have this much hope. We knew we were a bad team winning bad football games. So how can I not be excited about this?
Yeah.
I think Daniel Jones is going to be a top 10 quarterback. He's proven that he can play the position. He just tries too hard. Now he shouldn't have to try as hard. He should know when to tuck the ball, not turn it over, take the sack, and move on to the next play. How many times last year did he throw an interception trying to throw the ball out of bounds?
A couple of times.
Exactly. So if you can't get hyped over this team and you know that Joe Judge is just going to bring back what last year was and say, do you guys want to lose this way again, or do you guys want to go in there and win? Because we know they're going to be hyped up for the Eagles. They've got the same reason to do that to Dallas. And I'm sorry, we keep beating Washington, and it's like until Washington beats us, I'm going to continue to have us win. Just like last year, because we had to beat Washington or Philly or Dallas. We gave them both wins last year. So that was 0-4 against division rivals.
Okay. I see where you're coming from, Joe.
There's no reason why we can't win. We should win. These are games and scores that we should be putting up to prove we're a top 10 team. If we're going to have a top 10 defense, we need a top 15 offense. And for that to coexist with each other, you've got to put up scores like that. That's how you're a defined good football team, is you crush the guy.
I will say this, Joe. If they play up to their potential, I wouldn't be surprised if they start off 5-0.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because the way the schedule is looking, we always beat Washington. I know we're going to get Denver. Atlanta, I know we're going to get them. The Saints with Jameis Winston just doesn't scare me as much as the Saints with Drew Brees. And the Cowboys, I believe we match up pretty damn well against the Cowboys. And I don't think they can just stop Saquon Barkley like that either. They're too undisciplined in their linebacker ranks. Their DBs do not like to tackle. Their safeties are undisciplined. And their defensive line can be had up the middle. So I see where you're coming from.
And a new offensive coordinator in Dallas, too. Doesn't Atlanta have a new coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no reason.
That could be a good thing for Atlanta, though.
They also have a new defensive coordinator. You forget about that.
Does Dallas not have that one offensive coordinator last year?
Yeah, they have the same guy as they had the year before.
Yeah,
they have
I think Kellen Moore's the offensive coordinator over there.
Yeah, him. I thought
they have Dan Quinn as their defensive coordinator. So we can't just hope that their defense is not going to be good. That guy came from Seattle. He knows how to build a defense, and that's why they got Micah Parsons, Jalen Smith, and Van Der Esch. That's going to be what that team is built around. So
they drafted Gabriel Cox in the later rounds too.
The problem is they don't know how to use any of their linebackers.
No, Mike Nolan didn't know how to use any of their linebackers. Dan Quinn will know how to use their linebackers.
All right,
I forgot they got Dan Quinn. I forgot they got Dan Quinn.
Linebackers also, so they brought in Parsons and Cox, so you can't say that they didn't get better over there.
Mm-hmm. Miz, what you got? What you got for us, man?
Yeah, I got a 3-1 at this point. And no, we're not winning in Dallas. Sorry. But you know what it is, man? It's the same game as usual. We'll be up. We'll be in the game. We'll be all jumping and excited. We'll even take a lead in the third quarter, and we'll still find a way to lose this game 28-20. It happens every time. And the refs will make sure that they take away a big touchdown from us to help them. So we're not winning in Dallas. I don't got us winning in Dallas. Sorry, I'm just keeping it real right there.
All right, we got us 3-2 in the first 5. JDW, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna have the Giants taking their first loss here as well. I really like this Giants team, but I think Dak being back, and this offense is really good. I get that Giants team is gonna be top 5. That Giants team, the defense is gonna be insane, and it's gonna be able to stop some really good offenses. But I think this is a game where that defense is young and they may have a little hiccups. I think that Dallas is going to be able to outscore them.
All right, what you got for us, Adam?
This is a divisional game. They're always tight, no matter what. You saw both Dallas games were tight last year. That's why I don't think we blow them out, because we know each other too well. However, I agree with the Miz. I think we're going to lose this game because for some reason we have some fluky thing that happens to us. Last year, Evan Ingram's touchdowns called back. They lose on a Ryan Lewis, can't defend a pass,
right.
DB down the field, like one play. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that just seems to be what happens with the Giants, right? And they owe us something because we took their quarterback out last year. So I'm sure they're going to try to want to put one on us in their building. And I believe they're going to be the division. If it's between Washington, Giants, and Dallas, I could see Dallas winning the division because they technically have the best team. They just had a backup quarterback playing it last year. So I'll take the Dallas Cowboys in this one.
All right. Big play.
I got the Giants in this game. I think the Giants Joe Judge will run the ball a lot. I think they'll keep pounding the ball with Saquon Barkley. And I think that's something Dallas won't be aware to when Barkley played before. I feel like Kenny Galladay and Coney and with Slayton, all those guys are gonna go off against Dallas's secondary, which is not that very good, and I think that's why New York wins.
All right, Ash, what you got for me?
You know what, Pat? I said you read my mind, but I'm gonna have to agree with Joel here. I have us winning. I'm not by a huge margin, but the last time we beat Dallas when we had a good team was 2016, Week 1, when we had Odell, Shepard, and Cruz. So I really think like we do have a good team this year, and I think Joe Judge is coming out for blood this year. I just have a feeling that he doesn't care about. He's gonna take it week by week.
Yes, sir, Joseph.
He doesn't care about He doesn't care about, the views by the media or anything. He just wants to take it week by week, start off 0-0 or 1-0 every week. Play every game like it's like an elimination game. I just think we win this game.
Hey Ash,
yeah.
Just real quick, I want to remind you we should have put up 50 on Dallas last year in their stadium. We got touchdowns called back.
Yeah,
Bad calls, man. Don't get me started right now because I wake up the whole house. Don't get me going.
Right. Yeah, those calls.
America's team start me up because that fucking game made me so angry last year, man. That game really made me irate, man.
I didn't mean to upset you, Miz, my brother, but I wanted to point that out to Ash because
no, you're 100% right, man. I say this all the time, man. We should have put a 50 spot on that team, and we weren't even good. You know what I mean?
We didn't know how to
they were giving Dallas everything while the Giants weren't doing absolutely nothing.
We didn't know how to finish. We didn't know how to execute correctly. We didn't know how to finish. We didn't know how to close out games. Now we do. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I know things happen in Dallas, just like things happen when we play Philly prime time in Philly, for as long as I can remember. For like the past 5 years, but I think this Giants team changes the narrative. I just have a good feeling, so I'm gonna have it starting off. What is it? 5-0.
Yep, 5-0.
And that goddamn game, if Dexter Lawrence were to breathe on Ezekiel Elliott, personal foul, face mask, defense, number 97.
Yeah, that game was awful, man. That Andy Dalton pass at the end of that game, it was a absolute holding. That was a holding on that play. Somebody, I forgot who got strangled on that play, but man, I was like, dang, they ain't gonna call nothing against them.
I don't know if you guys saw, but during the Boston Scott touchdown in the Evan Ingram drop game, their tackle was holding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, every play. I mean, if it's not called, it's not called.
Man, Lane Johnson wasn't playing with it.
Big play.
Yeah, I would add him on that though. You can't cry over spill maker on calls. You got to play good enough to
it couldn't come down to the refs.
We still gave up that drive.
That's true. How does Jabril Peppers give up that to a 5'7" running back?
Yeah.
No,
did you see the throw? That throw was amazing. That's what.
Put the ball on the money. He put the ball where Boston Scott.
The only time all year.
Peppers defended with the wrong arm.
Let's get to week 6. I'm going to surprise you guys here.
Joseph Bobby's in here.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna call this one a win. Reason why? Everybody's so hyped on the Rams this year, as well as you should. The Rams have a pretty good defense, and our offense is pretty good. But I will say this: Matthew Stafford is a different type quarterback than what Jared Goff was. I'm not saying Jared Goff was better, but I'd rather play Matthew Stafford with this team. You know why? Because Matthew Stafford loves to throw that deep ball. And this is not a deep ball team. They have Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Deshaun Jackson. An old, hurt Deshaun Jackson. He's not going to kill us the way he used to. I think this guy's going to try to overdo it. I think he's going to outplay himself. He's going to try to throw that ball deep all the time. There's going to be a lot of incompletions. He might even throw a couple of picks.
Hey,
I'm
Pat.
not scared of their running game. Their defense. Only person on that defense that's going to shine is that Jalen Ramsey. He's probably going to play very well against Kenny Galladay that day.
Well,
Maybe
Donald,
Aaron Donald.
What about Aaron Donald?
Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah.
Let the man
Their run
finish, man.
their run defense is not as great as people think there is. We ran it against them last year, believe it or not. And if Saquon Barkley is healthy, those little runs Wayne Galliman was getting, those 8-yard runs, 9-yard, those are 20.
Yeah.
If Saquon Barkley runs that ball the way he's supposed to and not try to be flying flashy like Barry Sanders and just hit that hole. Do you know how much of a force that guy is when he hits the hole? You remember that Texans run that he did against the Texans when he bounced it to the end zone?
I love that run.
Yeah, that run against the Panthers when he only did the flashy stuff when he had to, but he hit that hole and he was still able to juke somebody in the hole. I think we're going to shock the Rams, man. I'm not scared of Cooper Kupp. I'm not scared of Robert Woods, and I'm definitely not scared of Deshaun Jackson's hurt ass now. He's hurt too much. And I think Matthew Stafford plays right into our hands in this game. If we get any type of pass rush, we beat the Rams. I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm gonna think. I think it's a loss.
That's all. But you can't change your mind, all right? If it's a loss, it's a loss. Logan.
Right.
It's a loss. It's a loss. It's a 100% loss. I think
All right.
John's will lose. I think John's will lose 21-13.
Go ahead,
Well,
Joe. What you got for me?
Here's my thing. Okay, this is going to be week 6. And if the Rams are 2-3, 3-2, right in that area, I'm thinking they might be 2-3 because Stafford's learning the system. McVay's trying to work kinks out. This could be a game where we're going out to the Rams, right? Or are they coming to the state? Is this a home or an away game?
This is a home.
This is a home game.
It's a home game.
Okay, it's still Stafford is the question on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be hurt? Is he going to play? Say what you want about Stafford at Detroit. When he had Megatron, when he had a good receiver, he was a decent quarterback when healthy. I see this as a Giants loss, but again, Stafford's the key. And if what Pat was talking about, we can get a pass rush, this could be a win. But for the record, I'm going to say this is a loss.
I'm telling you, Matthew Stafford plays to our strength as a quarterback. I promise you.
I do, but my question is, though, is McVay. He always has a good game plan. I mean, he's a good young coach. He got him to the Super Bowl with Goff.
You do know last year, it was the same type people last year, and they couldn't score against us.
Yeah, but
and
they
the
also
reason why they really beat us because our offense couldn't do anything. They was on the field the whole game. We got a better pass rush. We got a better secondary. That's the reason why I say that he plays to our strengths. Adoree Jackson can run with Robert Woods all over the field. Darnay Holmes can cover Cooper Kupp. Or if we want to get physical with him and bump him at the line, we put Aaron Robinson in there. And Bradbury is going to shut down anybody that was on his side with that team because nobody scares us.
I want Robinson on Kupp. That's a good idea.
We also have Jabril Peppers. He's free to play anywhere he wants, and none of their running backs scare me. None of their tight ends scare me. They lost their best tight end in Everett. That what's the other guy's name?
Howard Higbee's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Higbee doesn't scare me.
Higbee is going to go off against you guys, in my opinion.
Well, like I said, McVay and Stafford are going to be the key to this game. It all depends on if McVay can figure out Stafford because he's still got something in the tank, or they wouldn't have given up 3 first-round draft picks for him.
Oh yeah, he's
McVay's got
that big arm.
So we don't know what McVay's game plan is. We don't know what the team's going to be. He might be doing something different. So that's why I'm going to say an L, because I just fear that head coach. It's like Belichick. All right, I'm not saying he is Belichick, but he'll come up with that game plan that,
like
the younger
almost.
Yeah, the younger coaches will do. He thinks outside the box. So If it was anybody but McVay, I'd have a 6-0, but I can't. It's 5-1. I have that much respect for the head coach.
I'll tell you this much. My friend texted me today. He's in the chat, Chris Bucco. It's my man right there, Chris. And texted me the Giants' home schedule. And I believe his words is, "This is a joke." So the thing is, I looked at the home schedule, and I already knew the home schedule a few months ago. So you know what? I see the Giants being dominant at home this year, going 7-1 or 6-2. And real good teams with big defenses usually do that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm looking at the Rams' schedule, right? And earlier today, if there's a team we're going to lose to at home, it's the Rams, because I have the Rams as one of the bigger teams in the league. I actually think that the Rams could go to the NFC Championship and maybe the Super Bowl this year. I think that highly of them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they got week 1 against the Bears, which they'll win that game. But then they got games at Colts, home against Tampa Bay, Arizona. Then they go up to Seattle, before they fly across the country to play us. That's a rough schedule, man. They're going to be beat up by the time they come into the Meadowlands. You know? And then the following week, they play Detroit, which you probably give them, that's a cupcake. Okay? So, it's a tough game, man. And I think that the Giants didn't forget last year. Judge is going to remind them of that game. And Gates doesn't mind squaring up with Donald. He's not a little man in the ball. You know? So, you know what? I mean, it's a really hard game, but I'm going to give the Giants a field goal win here in a low-scoring football game, much like the one last year. What was the score last year? Was it
was
17-9? 17-9.
17-9.
Yeah, 17-9. Yeah.
17-9. So I could see this game playing out about 17-14 Giants.
Yeah, that was the game where Jalen Ramsey and Golden Tate got into that. Wow, bro.
Yeah, there were
But
some
Jalen-
fights, and Gates
The only
wasn't
time we heard of Golden
on.
Tate's name. This year.
That's the famous Nick Gates has the balls to punch Aaron Donald in the face game.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
well,
do it
that's
again.
good that, I don't know if he has those balls in the street, but listen, on the field, it's a different story. But this game, listen, I'm not telling you, the Giants are going to win. This game could easily go the other way. I think the Rams are a Super Bowl team this year. But I'm going to say that the Giants finally squeeze this one out. But the way I am, once again, Pat, that's that do factor. This is a payback game.
Go ahead, JD.
Now I have a feeling, this is going to be a game where, the Rams are going to be favored by the media and by everyone by a lot, and they're not going to give the Giants the respect they deserve. And that young team is going to come in there hungry. They're going to be at home, they're going to be hungry, and they're going to come in there and they're going to upset the Rams. I think they could get it done.
I truly believe we could beat the Rams, man. I don't think the Rams are going to be as powerful as people think, but
Right.
they can.
I don't know
prove me
about
wrong.
that. I still think the Rams are going to be really good. Even with Matthew Stafford, I think they're going to be really good. And Sean McVay, two really good forces that are going to come together and be really good. But I think this is a game where they take a hiccup and they lose to a young and hungry team.
All right, hey Adam, what you got for me?
Listen, man. This is the Giants. This is going to be an upset game for the Giants. They're going to win it because according to my logic right now, that I've given them 2 losses to the Saints and the Cowboys. They're going to want to come off that Cowboy win and show the fans that they really mean something and get their season really going by upsetting the Rams in this game. Now, I respect Matthew Stafford. Always love the guy. I think he's going to make them a Super Bowl contender with that defense. Don't underestimate Matthew Stafford. I do agree with you, Pat. He does have a tendency to throw interceptions. He's got a little Favre in him. You know what I mean? Favre used to be that gunslinger type mentality where he threw the ball up and nobody cared. But in this game, I just think the Giants are going to come back after 2 losses and circle the wagons and get one from the Rams.
Next.
Big play. What you got for me?
I got the Rams winning this game, and I agree with everything all of you guys said. But I think the Rams going into this game, I feel like they're just like this team that is gonna be very good this year, and they're gonna be very lethal, especially adding Matthew Stafford to that team. I feel like it's just gonna be too much for the Giants to stop, especially all the firepower they already have installed into that offense. I think it's going to be too much for the Giants, and their defense is good too.
Yeah, their defense is
My
good.
rebuttal to that is the Rams are going to beat teams handily that don't have a good defensive backfield to where you can keep up with them in that slot. I believe the slot is one of our strong points on our defense this year as far as when it comes to our cornerbacks. They're not a team like how the Rams were that had two dominant outside receivers and had Azahir Hakeem in the slot carving you up. These players have to be schemed to be open. That's why I'm giving us the edge against the Rams. I don't think you can scheme your receivers open against us. I think you have to beat us. You literally have to out-physical us on this defense to beat our defensive backs. You're not going to sit there and scheme yourself open. I don't believe our safeties are dumb enough to fall for the little play action and go over the top like they love to do. And when Matthew Stafford gets frustrated, you keep frustrating him. He's going to give you that ball. He's going to throw a deep ball thinking that he can use his arm to get that ball in there. And I believe Xavier McKinney or Logan Ryan is going to be there to pick that off. This team is not as dominant as people are calling them. They're a very smart team. They're a very well-coached team. And they're a very well-schemed team like the Saints are. But if you have a defensive backfield like we have, where we can match you up receiver for receiver all the way across the board, they're going to have a hard time beating you. I just truly believe that. I believe our defensive backfield holds it down because they're not going to run it against us. They have no running game. Not against teams like us. They won't be able to do it. I don't believe tight ends are going to kill us like they used to. They're going to try to scheme their way to get points this year. And they're going to get a lot of points this year because a lot of teams can't cover you like we can. We can cover you across the board against any of your – even if you put 4 receivers out there. I think that Aaron Robinson kid can hold his own, so can Darnay Holmes. So that's why I give us the edge against them. And I believe Matthew Stafford, you get pressure on him, he's going to throw you a couple. He's not that carve you up type quarterback. He's that quarterback that can make throws other quarterbacks can't because he has a very strong arm and an elite strong arm. But if you got everything covered, Matthew Stafford's going to throw you one. Watch what I tell you. I think Matthew Stafford throws us 2 interceptions that game, at least.
You know, Pat, I get what you're saying, but this is the type of a trap game that the Giants always fall into, and then we just don't play well.
How can this be a trap game? This is the game. This is the game we should be hyped for. Because if we lose to the Saints or the Cowboys, this is the game we should be hyped for. This is the game that everybody is saying the Rams are going to be this and that. Joe Judge is going to have them hype. A trap game is like Washington week 2.
Well, you're right.
Go ahead.
I have them going 5-0 coming into that game.
All right, Joe.
You know, I'm just saying that, you know.
I have them going 17-0.
There we go. I like his thought.
So,
yeah.
Joe, let me say this, and I'm gonna let you go. I ain't mean to cut you off.
You're fine.
But if we're 5-0, how can this Rams game be a trap game? Being the Rams are predicted in a lot of people's boards to go to the Super Bowl. How can Joe Judge not have them hyped to play the Rams? And we're 5-0. This is not 5-0. Then we're going against the Raiders. No, this is the Rams. This is a prime time game here.
Well, Joel sees them struggling out the gates, is what I think he's saying, and so that the Rams are going to be a bad team. The Giants are going to be a good team. That's why it's going to be a trap game for the Giants.
Okay.
Right. Because I said if the Rams, remember when I said they might be 2-3, 3-2, trying to figure out, you know, McVay figuring out Stafford, them working, because like you said, their first 5 games is brutal. Then they play us in Detroit. So that's why I'm saying, you know, it's that 2-3. The Rams might come out 4-1 for all we know. So I'm just
their team is so loaded, man. they have so much lethal like firepower on that team. Like it's just so predictable to like predict something on. So I get what you're saying, Joe.
It only takes one play, man, and we saw that last year playing the Rams. We had them 9-9. They got that long touchdown with Kupp, and okay, that's where it started going downhill. I'm just saying that could happen again.
Okay, but that's the main reason why I said this team has to scheme to get themselves open.
All right.
Last year we had them 9-9, and we didn't even have a second corner.
Yeah.
Now we're like four corners deep.
I'm gonna have to get off, Big Pat. I love to talk to you guys more, but it's getting late for me, man.
All right, JD. Thank you, bro.
JD,
I had a blast talking to you guys, though. Hope you guys have a good night.
Co-fan. This game,
JD.
Thanks a lot,
this game
man.
right here, I'm gonna make a prediction, and it's gonna be a lot like last year's game. This will be the most physical, feisty game of the year. And like I was telling my friend, and I told Adam, I'm a little worried about this type of very physical game. There's been bad blood between these teams over the years, and this is a type of game where teams might lose a player or two to injuries. It's that type of physical game that we're looking at.
Yes, this will be a very physical game. I believe Donald is going to be very motivated because of what Nick Gates was doing to him last year. I believe he will be motivated to play us. But I believe our defense is just as strong as their defense in this game. And I don't believe the Rams offense is going to go off against us. I just don't see it. They got the same people from last year. Only thing they added was often injured Deshaun Jackson. And I believe their running game has gotten weaker. I'm not afraid of Cam Akers. Neither is Leonard Williams. Neither is Shelton. Neither is any of our defensive front. And if we get pressure on Matthew Stafford in this game, any type of pressure, he's going to throw us at least 2 picks. I'm telling you, because he plays exactly to our strengths. That's the only reason why I'm saying we're going to get these guys, that he plays to our strengths as a quarterback. He just does.
True. That's true.
Hey, Big Play Slay, it was great talking to you tonight. You have a good night.
Yeah, shout out to Big Play, man. Shout out to JDW as well.
Yes.
But what you think? Did Adam answer already?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ash's turn.
Okay, go ahead, Ash. My bad.
No, you fine. You fine. I think this is gonna be a loss for us. I think Matthew Stafford's gonna have a really good year this year, because like Joe said, I think Sean McVay knows something when he sees Matthew Stafford, because that's why they gave him 3 first-round picks, and I felt like Jared Goff was really holding back and restricting their offensive scheme. And if we seen it, last year, granted, this was this coaching staff's first year last year, but we've seen our coaching staff be outsmarted and outcoached. So I think this game is going to have to come down to Daniel Jones for real, because and I'm not going to be biased when I said this, but when we face the Rams, Daniel Jones is going to have to look through his progressions and look through his reads, because Jalen Ramsey is going to shut down Kenny Golladay. And I know some Giants fans not going to want to hear that, but this dude, Jalen Ramsey, went on a streak, shutting down the best receivers in the game. So I just don't think he's going to shut down Golladay.
I agree.
He's going to shut down Golladay, and I think that's going to force Daniel Jones to have to look to through his progressions. This is going to be a tough game for Daniel Jones. That's just what I think right now. And I think the NFL is really setting up these Rams and Matthew Stafford to be successful, because granted, that's why they put them.
Yes.
That's why they put the Rams Sunday night. I just feel like they know that Matthew Stafford's gonna, have a good year. They want to jump, just like how Colin Cowherd was saying it this morning. They want to jump on that storyline early. But
Yep.
I think Sean McVay, again, I think he sees some of Matthew Stafford, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams come out the gate firing. And Pat, I agree with you. They're not. You're good. It's going to be a tough time having to, outsmart our secondary, because I agree. We could line up, if they line up 4 wide receivers, we could line up pretty damn good against them. I just feel like this is going to come down to Daniel Jones, and I think the Rams are going to have the edge on this one.
Joseph, you take care. Have a good night.
Yo, guys, we want to get through this, so we got to pick this up a little bit. All right. It's
All
getting
right.
real late, but we want to get to the end. I want to do the whole thing. So let's try to cut the words down
Okay.
and get down.
All right, week 7. I'm gonna tell you, we blow out the Panthers.
Okay. Week 7, Giants 34, Panthers 10.
There you go. Now you're starting to talk my language. I'm going to agree. It's going to be a pretty good game for the Giants. That's a win. So I'm going to say 6-1.
Yeah. Same thing real quick.
That is 5-0.
27-10 Giants will win this game. And this will be one of Barkley's best games of the year.
I see that.
We're going to hunt for a rare species called panther that Sunday. So the Giants can win this game.
Yeah,
Joe.
this is an easy one.
Joe, I'm gonna need you to put some of that panther meat in that aluminum foil. Wrap it
I
up.
could
3
do
good
that.
times, put it on the grill.
I can do that.
I think we all.
Yo,
all-
that pulled pork. Look, oh my god.
No, it
Yeah,
was.
so we all agree Panthers get destroyed. All right, now here's the game that I'm going to be so excited to call play-by-play because this is going to show us where we're at on the totem pole in NFL.
Yeah.
I got us taking a loss, but
Yes.
I am going to say we're going to give them an impressive show. I say the Chiefs beat us 28-20, 28-21, or 28-20. I believe their offense gets it done at the end of the game. I believe we hold them strong for 3 quarters, but we just fall a little bit short because they're just the champs. What you got, Logan?
I want to be that guy right now. I think we win.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think our defense can perform well enough, and I think our offense can perform well enough against their defense to catch the dub. I see it. 34-28 Giants.
Lock it in.
Yep, lock it in. I got us as a loss too. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. I think we give the ball to him with too much time on the clock in the fourth quarter. We lose on a late field goal, 30-27 or like 27-23, somewhere in the 20s.
Miz?
Yeah. This I believe we have one of these games that we have every year where it gets out of hand. So 29-13, Kansas City.
Okay.
I'm going to say Kansas City wins. I would agree with Logan that they would have won this game if they had lost the trap game to the Panthers the week before. But I'm going to say that they're going to lose this game.
Yes.
I feel confident enough in our defense that I think we can hold their offense down enough to catch a small margin of W.
We could. We match up well with their offense, I think. I think it could be a win, but if we give the ball to Mahomes with 2 minutes left on the clock, I think we're done. I don't think our defense can hold up.
We beat the 18-0 Patriots, man.
Yeah, we did, but I mean, Mahomes ain't Brady.
That was
That's a different team, man.
That's true.
Right. Go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, I agree with Miz on this one. We always have that game that we kind of lose control of. So I think this is the game where we kind of come back to earth. So I have this game kind of like we lose about like 2 scores.
Okay. I can see that happen in that game, but I just think we give it a impressive performance and a loss that game.
I didn't mean, by the way, like it's going to be just like Super Bowl 42. I meant like any given Sunday. You know what I mean? Anything can happen.
Right.
Raiders. This is another one. We blow out the Raiders. They have nothing for us. They can't do anything to us. Go ahead, Logan.
I have us blowing them out too.
Yeah, 7-2. That's a win.
Easily.
Yeah, that's a win. We're beating the Raiders at home.
Adam, what you got?
The Raiders. I love seeing John Gruden's face when he gets angry during loss. I can't wait for us to beat him.
Yeah, that face gets redder than Coughlin's in Green Bay.
It's just the nose when he scrunches his nose.
Yep.
Ash, you got us with a win, bro.
Nah. Oh yeah. I was about to. I didn't want y'all. I thought you were saying something else. Oh yeah.
All right. Next week will be our bye week, so we get a week to prepare for Mr. Tampa.
I think we're gonna win for
Tom
that.
Brady against the Buccaneers. I'm going to tell you guys, we have a damn good chance to win this game as well. I got us winning. I got us winning this game. I believe Joe Judge comes up with a hell of a scheme. I believe Patrick Graham comes up with a hell of a scheme. I believe we should have beat them last year with the team we had last year. And Tampa Bay is not, to me, they should have lost so many games last year, but for some reason, Tom Brady just has a rabbit's foot up his butt when it comes to the damn playoffs. But we beat them boys this year. I say a really hard fought game, 24-20. Daniel Jones gives us his first major comeback win that's highlighted. He gets us a touchdown at the end of the game. We had the lead 17-13. Tom Brady drives down. About 2 minutes left, a little under 2 minutes, about 154. Gets them a touchdown that go 20 to 17. And then Dan Jones leads us 24-20. Mark my word.
Mm.
Go ahead, Logan.
Yeah. I got a hot take, Logan. You better be good. Yeah.
So-
Now he's like, what do I do? Oh, this is poker, baby.
What's up, Jaden?
Damn it. Oh my God.
Yes. What's the MVP going to do?
Buccaneers
Well-
24-21. Giants lose.
Giants lose. I'm going to say the same thing because I have been a Giants fan since 1978, 79. I have never seen the Giants come off of a bye and play a really good game. If I have, it's been so long ago, I can't remember it.
I
We
feel like
always
I had
do
us beating
bad.
the Chiefs. I cannot have us beating the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. That's just not realistic. It's either going to be one or the other.
That's just I mean, I think we're going to lose to them now, see them in the playoffs in our stadium, and then stomp the ever living snot out of them then. But I think this is a loss. Only because we never play good off the bye week, and it's going to be close. I think it'll be like
Joe, you're
23-20.
reading my mind, man.
I still remember
Yeah.
last year after the bye week against the Bengals. We won, but that was not a good game. Remember how horrible the special teams was?
Right. What you got, Miz?
Yeah. I'll just have to go with my video earlier today. I said that Tampa Bay would be our upset of the year. Man, once again, that's a payback game for last year, a game that I felt we should have won and we outplayed them in. And I know what you're saying about the bye, man. You made me just think we do not play good off the bye, but the Giants have a real good history in Tampa Bay, their entire history. And they won a Super Bowl there. And they beat Tampa in a Super Bowl run in 2007. And the Giants have a hard-on for Tom Brady. They seem to play him no matter what team, what year. We play that guy great. We're going to Tampa, and we're upsetting them 24-22.
I wish I could be as optimistic about this game, even though I would
Miz
love
is a
to.
middle linebacker. He's too hype.
Even though I would have loved to see the rematch in the playoffs this year, I would love to see them go to Tampa this year and see if they could have done something. But they're going to slip up this game. I think there'll be a hard-fought game. I think you're going to see a good effort by Daniel Jones. But the Super Bowl champs are the Super Bowl champs for a reason. So until told otherwise, I think they're going to beat us.
All right.
Yeah, for
Ash?
me, yeah. After I give this, I'm gonna have to bounce out. But I think we're gonna lose this game. Joel, you read my mind. You know, I just don't like us coming out of the buys for like the past couple of years, and especially with this team. If you start off sluggish, they're not gonna like wait for you. Especially Tampa Bay. Like Tom Brady's not gonna wait for you. So I just feel like this could get out of control. You know, if we come out sluggish. But I don't think we'll come out sluggish. I just think, you know, we'll just lose this game.
All right.
Pat, I do want to say thank you for having me on. I enjoy, especially, you know, with you guys. I enjoy talking football with y'all, you know, every week.
It's
y'all
great to have you, Ash.
Anytime, man.
Great to
Anytime.
speak with you, man.
Same thing.
All right. So we were a little, you know, combative in that game. I just think we get them boys this year. I believe
I
that's
hope
a
you're
staple game. That's a staple game for the Giants this year. Mark my words. Daniel Jones shows out as far as getting a comeback win. Now, the next game, we eviscerate the Eagles.
Yeah.
Especially if we beat the Buccaneers, we absolutely destroy the Eagles because we're on such a high. Especially even if we lose the game, we're on such a high because we get to play the Eagles after the Buccaneers. 38-10, man.
I just wrote. Oh, you never let Adam go for the Bucks.
Yeah, he went for the Bucks.
Oh, he did. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I predicted us losing the Bucks, so I think we're going to be even more hype. I'm going to go Giants 34, Eagles 2. Nah, Giants 34, Eagles 10.
Oh, we're beating the Eagles 55-0. There, Miz.
This game is the first one of two. Is this one in Philly?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, this game's in Philly. All right, yeah, the Giants are going to win this game. The Giants beat the Eagles twice this year. There's no doubt about it, and it's mostly because they're just a real bad team. But this one will be close. Whatever, man. We'll go. Give me 27-17.
I like
All
that.
right.
That's a good prediction.
Go ahead, Adam.
Fuck Philadelphia.
Thank you.
That's it. Fuck Philadelphia.
That's a win. Now, this game here is a little interesting to me. I don't know. I believe we beat the Dolphins. I believe it's going to be tougher than a lot of people think. I do believe we beat the Dolphins, though, in a really close game, 24-20.
Okay.
Reason why, because I believe we get a hold of Tua that game. I think they start off pretty well. They shock us. They probably go up like 17-10 or 17-3, but I think we come back against them. Especially if Tua's playing, we get to him. We beat the Dolphins.
This one. I'm gonna go Dolphins 28, Giants 21.
Oh, so you got the Giants winning, huh?
No, losing.
Oh, losing?
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins. See, this is a hard one for me. It's either the Dolphins or the Chargers. We go out to play the Chargers, but I think that Chargers game's a 1:00 game, East Coast time. So they'll be starting that game at 10 o'clock if I saw the schedule right. So I'm not worried about the time starting. So I mean we're going to be fresh for that game, but one of those two games I can see us losing. If we beat the Dolphins, I think we lose to the Chargers, but if we beat the lose to the Dolphins, we beat the Chargers. So right in here is that question week, because we're looking at the division games coming up, and I think the Giants are just going to look ahead. So I'm going to say a loss on this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a loss.
Yeah,
okay.
I like evenly matched teams. A lot of New York fans down in Miami. That half that stadium is going to be wearing blue. So you know what? 2020 tie.
Huh?
Ooh.
Okay.
2020 tie.
Go ahead, Adam.
Got to be a little different. I don't know.
I think the Giants are going to lose this game due to the non-familiarity of playing Miami. Even though they have Brian Flores, the Giants don't normally play the Dolphins, and I think this is one of those games where you just came off the high win of beating the Eagles, and this is the game I can see they kind of let down a little bit and get stolen.
Yeah, I also want. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that too. I'll just say tie to make people laugh, but I think Miami could win this game in overtime. But it's going to be that tight.
All right, the next week versus the Chargers, I'm going to say this. I think we lose this game for the simple fact that we're coming from a high of beating Miami. I think we can have a little mental lapse against the Chargers or let them do some things that they're not supposed to do. And I think the Chargers might be hot around this time trying to get into the playoffs, and they find a way to beat us. Somehow, some way they beat us 17-13.
Okay. I'm going to go Giants 21, Chargers 14. I have the Giants winning.
Okay. I got us winning this game too. I think Graham's got something for Herbert. I like our defense against him. And this is when the playoff races are going to start. And we're going to be looking at Dallas and Philly and Washington at home. We're going to have 2 games. Then we go to Chicago, and then we're going to play Washington. I think this is a win. I think the team's going to be really focused. I think Judge is going to have them ready. So we're going to start that playoff grind, and Judge knows playoff football coming from New England, and he knows championship football coming from Alabama. So I'm not worried about this game.
Yeah, I think this is a tough place for us to go to. The Chargers have actually a real good defense, man. Top 10 defense in the league. And Herbert, man, Herbert's just going to be a great quarterback. We already know that. So I think that the Chargers are going to win this game at home 19-13. It's going to be a hard-fought game, but the Chargers host. I give them the win right here.
All right. What you got, Adam?
I think they're going to win this game against the Chargers. I think this game, after losing to Miami, gets them refocused to play Dallas, right? So they need this game because Dallas is coming up next, and they already overlooked them once when they were playing New Orleans. I think they don't overlook this San Diego, LA Charger team.
All right. Now we got Dallas the second time. I had us losing the first time. We get them this time, though. This is playoff time. Like Joel said, this is crunch time. I believe Joe Judge turns it up a notch. I believe this defense turns into absolute animals this last month of the season. Reason why they're all division games. We know all these opponents. And I don't believe any one of these teams in the NFC East can really beat us consistently. So I got us beating Dallas 31-20.
Okay, I had us winning in week 5, so right now I have us at 10-4. So, this is gonna be a low-scoring game. I got Dallas 17, Giants 10.
Okay.
This is a game at home.
Yeah.
Fans are going to be in the stands. People are going to be amped up for this.
Oh, plus it's going to be cold. I just forgot about that.
Dallas is coming. They don't like cold weather.
You know what?
Dak is
Don't change your mind, kid.
Right. You can't flip-flop every time Joel talks.
I think that Judge at home. Now I said that they were going to blow them out the first game, but I think this game at home, the Giants fans are going to let Judge and everybody know we want to just rub them out this time. So this one really might be 34-10 or 3 or something like that.
I'm not going to change my mind. I got us losing.
He's when I looked at the schedule today and I was doing my thing, I circled these 4 games right here. These are 4 NFC conference games. These 4 games right here will send the Giants to the playoffs or it won't. Okay? They could lose to Miami and the Chargers. You don't want to lose them, but it won't hurt. This is going to be the 4 games, the big month for our season. Okay? And Cowboys are coming in for a beating. That's just the way it's going to go. We're going to come home off the Charger game. It's going to be like Joel said, the stadium is going to be out of its mind, okay? And it's a hungry 90,000 that hasn't tasted playoffs in a long time. And this game is going to have that playoff 1986 feel to it. And the Giants are going to win this game 30-17.
Yeah, you got them. Yeah, you got them beating them, but worse than I did. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey,
welcome to the stream, Kenny. I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome to the stream.
They are coming in to get their butts kicked. We're going to put that back on the Brokeback Mountain, them Cowboys, because they getting butthurt when they leave MetLife Stadium.
I like this. I like this.
Yeah, I think we put a hurt on the Cowboys that second game, man. I believe this is when they fall out. The NFC East race is still between us and the football team. I just don't see the Cowboys being as dominant as they always say they're going to be every year. It's just the same squad, people. With a hurt Dak Prescott, I know he's coming back from the injury. I just don't see it, man. They were 1-4 with Dak Prescott in there last year, so
let me
I'm
ask
not
you
worried
this:
about them.
you think his ability is going to be thrown off with that injury? I mean, it took a lot of guys at the quarterback position.
I think Dak Prescott is going to be fine. I think it's just going to take him a couple of games to get back to it, but I don't see him being as effective as he was running. I think he starts to think about it now because that type of injury is almost like an Achilles he had, but he literally shattered his ankle and part of his leg with that tackle. I forgot who tackled him. Was it Logan Ryan?
It was
I think
Corey
it was Logan
Ballentine.
Ryan. That was a gruesome injury, and that's the type of injury that gets you thinking. Unless you're someone like an Adrian Peterson with a mindset of an absolute monster, where he got hurt and he came back and he just wanted to prove to everybody that he's still that dude.
HGH.
Yeah. I just don't think I don't see. And Dak Prescott, let's be honest, man, he's never really been that monster of a quarterback. He's just been a great game manager, and they've had great pieces around him, man. He had Elliott, the top offensive line in the league for years.
He was on a hot streak last year, though.
Yeah, but that's because they were coming back from 20 points down every game. He was playing prevent.
That's what I wanted to point out, Pat. Dak Prescott since 2017 is 5-11 against teams that are 500 record or better. He's not that good. He's not.
He's just a great leader, and he's a very likable guy. He's a great leader. He's a very likable guy, and he can get it done if you put pieces around him, but not to the point to where I think he'll take them to the Super Bowl. They will have to go on a magic carpet ride like the Eagles did. Right. And I just don't see that in their future.
Let's never speak that again.
Right. And speaking of the magic carpet ride, Aladdin is not in their future. We blow out the Eagles again, 34-10. I believe the Eagles will only get 3 to 4 wins this year. And those teams that they find a beat, hopefully one of them is Dallas and hopefully the other one is Washington football team. But I just don't see the Eagles winning too many games, man.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have Giants 44, Eagles 10.
That could very well happen.
Yep.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, we're just gonna shit stomp the Eagles next.
Eagles are not good this year, and at this point, by halftime of that game, they're gonna roll over and quit. That's what they know how to do. Listen, they'll give us a half. So whatever you want to call it, 23-10.
All right.
We're going to be eating Eagle stew on Sunday afternoon, boys, because that's how it's going down, okay? Because they're not beating us twice this late in the year. We're giving a nice Christmas present, a kick in the junk as we walk to the playoffs, okay?
Cool. Couldn't say it better, Adam. Now, the Chicago Bears, this one here. Are the Bears fighting for playoff position if the Packers get rid of Aaron Rodgers?
No.
I can see this. I can see this team. I can see that division being like how our division just was. Somebody in this division might go with an 8-9 record or a 7-10 record if Aaron Rodgers leaves the Packers. But even so, we still kick their ass. But they might be fighting for a playoff spot, man. I'm telling you. I think that division is going to be like our division this past year. But we kicked the Bears' ass 24-10. And we're well on our way to the playoffs. We got 11 or 12 victories right now. We're wrapping up the division right here in this game here because I think the Washington football team can only muster about 9 to 10 wins.
I was going to say, I think Giants 24, Bears 17.
All right.
I think that Chicago is going to be in a world of hurt by this time. I think Nagy's gone. I don't think they're going to do that well at all, where they're going to have a coach controversy and fire him 2 weeks before this game. I think they're going to have an intern coach, and they're going to put that rookie out there with 4 weeks to go to see what he's got that they traded up to get. They're going to see what their younger players are. I think at the second half of this game, the Giants are playing second stringers, and we're definitely dominating this game.
All right.
All right. I see this game. First of all, I think Rodgers will be in Green Bay. They're going to win their division. The Vikings and Bears. When you have an extra game in the season and 7 teams making the playoffs in the conference, the Bears and Vikings will still be alive around this point with a bunch of other teams. But they'll be playing still. I think the Bears are a little better than people think. I know people want them to stink so we get a high draft pick, but that's not exactly how football works. So I think it's going to be a real cold day in Chicago at this point. And I see Fields is probably playing by now against our defense. So I think this is going to be a good one of those old school defensive games where the Giants win 13-10.
Okay.
I very well
Go
see
ahead,
that.
Adam.
I could see that.
Well, I mean, if we want to go old school, we could just have the NFL Network soundtrack play while we watch the game. That way we can really get the full history of the football game. But no, what you guys got to do is you got to get your hunting license ready to go, get your shotguns ready, because it's bear hunting season on January 2nd. It's a fair game this year, man. We're going to get our head, we're going to mantle it on
slugs
the
ready,
and we're going to beat the Bears.
All right. Now, last game of the season. This could go pretty much 3 ways. We can be fighting with the Washington football team for the NFC's crown, or Joe Judge might have it in his heart to rest our players because we already got the division wrapped up, or he could be the hard ass that I believe he is. And if Washington football team is struggling for position for playoffs and if something happens that they lose, I believe we go all out and play these boys as hard as we can, and we beat them 24-17.
Yeah.
And wind up getting 12 wins on the year.
I'm going to go. Yeah, what the hell? I'll go Giants win 24-17 too. That gives me 13.
Tom Coughlin didn't rest our starters. We went to the Super Bowl, and he got really criticized for that, if y'all remember.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Judge ain't resting anybody. You guys are here to play football. You're going to play football. He told us he's going to play the best people at the best, at their position that he can get. We're going to do that now in the second half. You might see guys getting taken out of the game, but if it's a big score, it wouldn't surprise me if he pulled them in the second half, even if we're losing, if we've got the division locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll have the division locked up, so we'll probably lose this game.
All right. I hope you're right. I hope you guys are right, man. Pat, I agree with you. That was my score, man. The Giants and Washington. This will be a very highly advertised game. I believe both teams will still be alive. The Giants will win this game 24-17 and win the NFC title that day on their field. The NFC East.
Cool. Big Adam, what you got for us, bro?
Listen, this is the game that, they're going to win, and I just feel like Joe Judge can't not play his players after last year's game against the Eagles and Redskins, and everyone went haywire about playing. I think he's going to say, you know what? I'm going to be a man of my word, and you guys are going to play to the end no matter what. And whatever the outcome is, the outcome is. I think they're going to beat Ron Rivera, send him home, send him, back to Washington with a loss.
That's a great point you brought up, Adam. I was going to say that after you got done. For Joe Judge to save face, even though I believe they took that press conference out of context with him just to make something up. It would look kind of bad if he took his players out and let the Washington football team win and say if that win gets them into the playoffs, that would look kind of bad. But on the other hand, when they criticized Tom Coughlin for playing our players, the reason why Tom Coughlin played his players against the Patriots that year when we lost? He did that for the confidence of the team.
Right.
He wanted to see what the benchmark what that team was. And when they played that game and they saw they can compete with the Patriots, I believe that made them even that much stronger in the playoffs because they knew they could play with anybody after that game. Because you got to go ahead, Adam.
That next week they went into Tampa Bay and they put a hurting on them, and nobody picked them to win.
Yeah, and New England had everything to play for. They had a perfect season on the line. Tom Brady was a couple of touchdowns away from the record. Randy Moss was a couple of touchdowns away from the record. 8 touchdowns away from the record. And their offense was clicking on all cylinders. But guess what? We were too. Remember, Plexico Burrs was eating them alive that game. Yep. And we did hit Brady. That third quarter is when that Giants defensive line got real good confidence against Tom Brady that game, because they was hitting his ass that game. And they just pulled it through at the very end of the game to get the record and everything. They won. I think it was 37-34 that game.
Right. They got the blueprint. I remember Spagnuolo saying they ran the same A-gap blitz that Kiwanuka, Kiwanuka Mitchell sacks. They ran that same A-gap blitz with Pierce in this game. So they tried it out, and then they ran it the opposite way when they played him in the Super Bowl. So
Yep.
So I am kind of against resting your players at the end of the year, unless you have a bye week. But if you got a game, that wild card weekend game, I believe you play your players to keep them rolling. So
that screwed up the Colts that one year when they rested their players.
Yeah, they got beat the very next week.
Right. They said that they wanted to keep playing and they would have stayed sharp, and they didn't, and that's what happened.
Well, that's why I said at least play them the first half. At least start them, let them play the half a game and then see where the game's going. And then Judge can make that game time decision. But it wouldn't surprise me if he pulls a couple of them like Barkley or Tooney or, you know.
Well, yes. Okay, fine. You play to win, okay? So I'm tired of people saying, let's pull guys out. You play 17 games, that's what you signed up for. You didn't sign up to play 16 and a half games. You're playing 17 full games. So these guys need to go out there and do their job and get their money's worth, because if I paid money to go see them week 17 and they're pulling guys out, I want to see that. That's not, you don't pull guys out. Guys should want to be on the field regardless of if it's week 1 or week 17. You should want to be out there. I know you want to risk injury. You're going to say Jason Sear and all this stuff. I get it, but it's one play, any game that could happen. And you can't play a coach like that, you know?
Oh, Adam, I get your point 100% because, and I definitely understand where you're coming from, but all I'm saying is it's the coach's job to protect the players from themselves, not so much as to rest the players.
So what's he protecting them for if they're playing 17 games? That's what they signed on for.
Like I said, I get it that we're playing 17 games, but if I only keep them out for a quarter, and then I let my backups play so I can get them some time if they're needed. So it's not so much as completely resting them. It's seeing what your second and third string can do and what you have to do to coach them up the next week to get them ready if your star gets injured or starters is all I'm saying.
And I agree with you, but the Giants have shown a rotation this year with all their young players. So for me, it's just if you want to get a guy more playing time, more snaps, like O'Shea and Zimenez. Let's say coming back. You know, O'Shea and Zimenez, O'Shea and Minor. You can confuse the two. It's midnight, man. I'm tired. But what I'm saying is, I understand what you're saying, Joel, but what I'm saying is they're going to play these guys anyways, right? Like, look at Cam Brown played, Carter Coughlin played, you know, all the 6th-round picks and lower teams played. This guy is going to have these boys ready regardless. And I'm just saying I don't want them to lose the edge because, oh, wait, coach is going to take me out halfway through. I want to just play, and if, you know, the game's going well, we're up, we can take Straquan out and put Devin Booker in and put Brightwell in the game as well to get reps. But I'm just saying you got to coach with an edge and have these guys have no idea what, you know, when they're coming out.
Right. I mean, we're both.
When it comes down to it, man, Adam just has a little bit of that Tom Thibodeau in him. He's gonna play his players regardless of what it is.
Listen, if I played the season and my coach was like, "Listen, you're gonna take halfway out," I'll be fucking pissed. I'm like, look, I signed off for this. I'm not injured. You know, we're going to the playoffs. Let me play. Because guess what? Football is not for long, folks. Okay? So you're not going to get many opportunities in this league. And you don't want your last game to be the game you get pulled out of because, oh, well, you know what? My coach has saved me for myself. Look what he did for the Eagles. What are they saving themselves from Jalen Hurts? He could have used all that reps in the last half of the game. That you're telling me they wanted to see that booty ass quarterback from
Nate
the third string
Sudfeld,
booty
the
quarterback.
goat.
I don't even know what his name was.
Nate
Sudfeld.
Sudfeld, the goat.
Yeah, that was dumb, man. But
Adam,
overall,
I love your fire, man. You're the best.
Right.
I love it.
It can only be me, man. This is how I feel about this team. I love them to death, and I got to be real when I got to be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always believe they're going to win. I predict 17-0, but I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? I know they're not going to win because of injuries and people sitting, hamstring injuries. I mean, this is football, man. We only got 17 games. I miss weddings, birthdays, all that type of shit for this type of game, man. I was at someone's baby shower watching on the TV on my phone, and I said, "Sorry, you can have the baby shower, but I'm not listening because I'm watching the game." Okay? I have my present. I'm watching the game. I went to a birthday party at Texas Roadhouse. I'm watching the football game while eating my steak because I was in Philly country and I wanted to watch the game. I'm not missing for nobody. Okay,
right.
So for me, I want you to play all 17 games because that's all you got. It's like a soap opera that that happens in real life. They know, all the characters, all the drama. I love it, man. It's a lifestyle. If you don't love this sport, you can't enjoy this sport. It's not baseball. It's not basketball. Right. It's not hockey. I can't come back on Friday and see the Nets play, the Toronto Raptors. I got 17 games, and I get a couple sprinklings of, Mahomes and, Brady this year. I need to see them all. I need to see what happens. Right. I need the ebb and flow. If we have a bad loss, don't talk to me for a week.
Right. I don't look at anything on NFL Network until we play again.
I got a feeling this is kind of like that too.
But overall, guys, I don't think anybody on the panel had the Giants with less than 11 wins. If I can remember correctly, I think the most losses somebody gave us was 6. So 11 and it was like 11-6, 12-5 is where we think the Giants will be. Great thing. Now, last thing before I head out, we've been on here for 2 hours, man. I know you guys are tired. I know Miz needs to get his rest. So we're gonna go ahead and get this over with. My pick for the Super Bowl. I want the Giants in there, but realistically, I got my picks for the Super Bowl. I got Tampa Bay back in there against surprise pick, man, the Ravens. Reason why I say the Ravens, it's time for Lamar Jackson to show us who he is. And I believe that guy's going to have a scary good season this year. I just feel it. I don't know why. I just feel it. It's going to be between him and Mahomes in that AFC Championship game. And I think he finally does it. I believe it'll be Tampa Bay versus the Ravens. And he beats Tom Brady. He gets his first ring. He has to put his name up there by Mahomes if he wants to be considered the new great quarterbacks going into the next generation after Tom Brady retires. And this is his year to do it. They got him some receivers. I believe they're going to open up that playbook a little bit more. And that run game is always going to be dynamite. So look for Lamar Jackson to get his first ring this year. I'm just going to put that out there.
Okay. Out of the NFC, I'm going to go with the Rams. I believe in them. I think I wouldn't necessarily say they have the best team in the league, but I feel like they have one of the better teams in the NFC, and I feel like they have the best defense in the league, and I feel like they're going to make it. And then out of the AFC, I'm going to go with what you said, actually. I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Final answer?
Yeah, Joe.
Final answer, Rams.
Final
Ravens.
answer. All right. Y'all ready for this? I got a shocker. We're going to see a repeat of Super Bowl 25, Giants versus the Bills.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
You really think we could make it to the Super Bowl?
You know what? No, I'm putting this out there on video, brother. This is on your channel. You guys can come back to this next year if it does come to fruition. But there ain't no reason we can't go 12-5. We go into the playoffs. There ain't no reason why we can't win that.
I'll say this, depending on how we play the Chiefs and the Buccaneers.
There you go.
That'll tell you how good of a team we are.
You know what? The Eagles can say they're going 12-5 or whatever. You know what? As a Giants fan, I'm going to tell you we're going to play the Bills in the Super Bowl.
It's not going to be Scott Norwood wide right. It's going to be Tyler Bass wide right.
If we play the Bills in the Super Bowl, it's going to be – I think we beat them handily. If we make it to the Super Bowl, I don't see anybody stopping us. We make it because our defense
We match up with them pretty well.
Super Bowl, our defense has to be lights freaking out. Like,
Hey.
seriously.
We match up with the Bills very well, actually.
If we're a top 5 defense like we think we are, Miz has been preaching that we're on fire, and you know what? He's got me believing it. All right, so this is partly on Miz. If our offense can be in the top 15, top 10, okay, we know our special teams is going to be good because we're not going to have a repeat of how they tailed off last year. Changes have been made. So all 3 aspects of our football team have been greatly improved. Not a little bit improved, but yeah. No, Chris, it's legal in New York now, baby. I don't care what you say. 3 ounces, 6 plants, let's grow.
Are you on it right now?
Yeah. No, hell no. I should be. But, well, but you know what? If everybody else can do it, why can't the Giants do it? Why can't we believe that? We just called 12-5, 11-6. I mean, now I think one guy had 13-4. I think that was me, but oh well.
No, that was me.
See, if we just went through this whole schedule, and there were teams where I said that would lose that you liked, Pat, but then there was games that you would lose that I liked us winning. So
yeah, I don't think anybody on the panel had us under 11 wins.
Right.
I did. I have us at 10.
10-7. Okay. 10-7.
Go ahead, Miz. What you got?
Yeah, my Super Bowl predictions is going to be the Rams out of the NFC, and the Kansas City Chiefs are going back with a chip on their shoulder from the AFC.
That's a good pick.
I'm going to shock the world here, and I'm going to say in the AFC it's going to be Tennessee. And they're going to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I can't count out Tom Terrific. As long as he is under center, that team only got better, right? They signed all their starters back, and they got Joe Tryon in the first round. I mean, let's go. That defense got 3 pass rushers coming at you. So I can't knock Tampa Bay. And you know what? You got Tom Brady to be like, guys, you want to build a legacy? Let's go. So I see Tennessee and Tampa Bay as the Super Bowl game.
I'm with you, Adam, on Tampa Bay. But for Tennessee to get to the Super Bowl, Derrick Henry has to be an absolute superhuman through the playoffs.
He has to break the playoffs.
I'm just throwing out a hot take. If Joel can make us win the Super Bowl against the Bills, then there's a chance that the Tennessee Titans can get to the Super Bowl. And, I mean, I can see it happening, right? You run the football. They have playoff offense, right, with Derrick Henry. They just need to meet the proper storm needs to happen. The perfect storm kind of needs to happen for them. I feel it's going to happen this year. They can beat the Ravens, who Lamar Jackson, one run and go. I don't think he's got the longevity to get to the Super Bowl, just because of the way he's coached. I just don't feel he's diverse enough. Not that Tannehill is any better, but they have a better defense. I love Derrick Henry, and I just wanted to have some fun. So,
yeah, I can see it happening though, because all their defense needs to do is hold somebody. Eventually, Derrick Henry's going to get his. Eventually,
right?
If you keep letting them be on the field or keep running that ball towards you with him, he's going to get his eventually. I just don't see them having if they play the Chiefs, I just don't see them beating the Chiefs. But everybody else in the AFC, they can get
right.
I don't see them beating the Chiefs though.
I'm just trying to be fun, keep it real, keep it different. Because I don't want to be. It's like when you watch wrestling, right? And the 2 main heavyweights go up against you. You don't want the one that you think is always going to win. You kind of want to throw in the underdog. So I'm an underdog guy. Tennessee is my underdog team.
That's true.
That's like me, Adam. That's why I went Giants and Bills. I'm like, the 2 years that Eli took us to the championship, nobody expected the Giants to do that. Like nobody. It's like, okay, why can't we repeat that again?
Well, I always want the Giants to win the Super Bowl. I just kind of keep mad at it because then my heart's not broken when they're not there. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
But I mean, I'm with you, Joel. And in my mind, I'm praying to God, saying, "Hey, let's go, Bills, Giants. I can do that again, and let me see the, at a coherent age. I was only that was 1990. I was only 6 when that game happened. So, I didn't even know. I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't even like football until 5 or 6 years later when the Giants transitioned to Dave Brown, and all the good players are gone. So
I know what Joel's saying, man, because 1990 was some of the best time around here, man. When the Giants and Buffalo went to the Super Bowl, we had a New York Super Bowl. It was amazing, man. It was unbelievable. And 20-19, you can't beat that.
I would have loved to have been, cognizant of what was going on in the sports world.
Too. I was only 3 years old, so
damn.
My uncle still had me watch that Super Bowl, though. I remember bits and pieces. I actually remember bits and pieces.
Listen, man,
of,
watch the America's Game. You to watch America's Game on NFL Network. That'll give you a great insight on that. That playbook is in the Hall of Fame. That defensive game plan is in the Hall of Fame.
They let Thurman Thomas get over 100+ yards rushing, actually, so that
Jim Kelly
wouldn't be a big problem for him.
Him, Andre Reed, and them boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they knew. I mean, Belichick knew, and then Banks and Taylor looking at Belichick like, "Are you serious? Like, trust me, boys, we got this." So they did what they had to do, and you know what they remind me of? They remind me of the Greatest Show on Turf, because when you go back and you watch what the Patriots did in 2001 and what the Giants did in 1990 to those two finesse teams.
Yep,
it really does. Belichick was on both those teams. They played the same kind of football in both games. Kind of interesting.
That was
interesting.
Up till that moment, that was the best offense in NFL history. It was a no huddle offense that nobody ever seen before. They dropped 49 on Miami and 51 on the Raiders in the playoffs, both in snow games.
Right.
So the Giants to come out and hold them to 19, and the Giants held them to 17 back in week 13. Was amazing.
Kind of reminds you of Patrick Graham, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Belichick was on a high level, though. Even back then, he was on another level, man. Everybody knew that dude was gonna be something.
Except for George Young.
Except for who?
George Young, Giants general manager. He did not think Belichick would be a good head coach.
He was actually. Belichick was actually pretty good with the Browns before they got rid of the Browns. He was actually pretty good with them.
I mean, I'm just telling Giant history. I mean, Belichick is the reason why we have Joe Judge now. John Mara called him up and goes, "Hey, is Joe Judge good?" And he goes, "Yep, he's your man. Take him. Anybody that is endorsed by that guy, I'll take him."
Hey, to be honest with you,
those are idiots that let Belichick go from Cleveland, because I don't know if you noticed, but Belichick was scouting Ray Lewis as he was a kid.
He actually would have drafted Ray Lewis if the Browns would have still been available, but
they moved
Ozzie Newsome drafted him, but he scouted Ray Lewis before Ozzie Newsome did. That's why they have such a good relationship. He knew about Ray Lewis before Ray Lewis knew about Ray Lewis.
Exactly.
He built that defense, man, that went on to win the Super Bowls 2 years later in Baltimore when they beat us. That defense was unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. Don't get me started on that game.
Absolutely stunning. If Ray Lewis ever had an offense with his defenses, he would have had about 4 or 5 rings.
Right. He should have more. I mean, people try to tell me that he's as good as LT. LT is one of a kind, okay? LT is on a different stratosphere.
He's not as good as LT. Now, when it comes to reading the defense wise and watching film, yes, he was a little bit better, but LT it's just LT. You can't really explain it.
Ray Lewis is here. Ray Lewis is here, and LT is all the way up to the sky.
Different
position. LT was in a meeting once, right? He fell asleep. The defensive coach kicked a chair and said, "LT, can you join us?" He walks up to the board, draws up the play, and says, "Is this what the play you're talking about, Coach?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "Can I go back to sleep?" LT was a genius, man. He didn't need to watch film. That's how good he was. And I mean, Ray Lewis is a great linebacker, middle linebacker, and I'll give him the respect that he deserves. You know, the only guy that I would compare to LT would be Derek Thomas, and he doesn't have the same physicality that LT played.
Now, Derek Thomas was an absolute monster.
I will second that,
because if he didn't pass away early, that was probably the closest thing you've seen to LT ever.
And now my favorite guy now is Von Miller, because he reminds me of Derek Thomas.
Right. And he's the closest thing. He's like tier 1 LT, tier 2 DT, and tier 3 Von Miller.
Whew. Put all this on the same team.
Miller, Von Miller was something to watch too, man. But
Yeah.
it was just something about LT, man. I just
Chris. Oh my goodness! Oh, that was
yeah.
bad.
I don't think anybody on the panel said Ray Lewis was as good as LT. That's nowhere near the truth. But because
I never said Ray Lewis was as good as LT.
Is probably the best player of all time between him and Rice.
Him and
Jerry Rice.
For me, number 1 player of all time is LT. Number 2 is Rice. Number 3 is Brady.
Listen,
yeah,
so
I can get with that.
I have a hard time saying that Ray Lewis is right there, guys, only because of oh God, who was that Chicago linebacker, Ward 50?
Mike Singletary.
Yes.
Yeah,
that guy was an animal.
I like Singletary, and I like Harry Carson. I could put Harry Carson up against,
I think Harry.
Harry Carson's pretty good, man.
Hold on. You saying Mike Singletary and Harry Carson is on the same level as Ray Lewis when it comes to middle linebacker?
I'm saying I'll choose Harry Carson. He was for the position. He was what 6'4", 250 pounds, defensive lineman. He changed the game. You got to go back and watch that tape, man. He played on some bad teams. Harry Carson was really good.
Harry Carson was really good, but I don't think he was a Ray Lewis, man.
No,
I think Ray Lewis is the best middle linebacker to ever strap him up, and then there's Mike Singletary right behind him.
I don't know if that one guy.
Now I will say this: I believe the only middle linebacker that could have went over the top of Ray Lewis.
I love watching Luke Kuechly.
Oh, I love Kuechly.
It's not Kuechly. It's a guy that a lot of people don't even notice anymore because he retired so early, and that was Patrick Willis.
Yeah.
God, I forgot about that guy. You're right.
Patrick Willis was an absolute.
He's Hall of Famer, man. 8 years, he's still a Hall of Famer to me, man.
Listen,
people forget about Patrick Willis, man.
When you play the Super Bowl, when you played the Super Bowl on a broken leg like Jack Youngblood did, now that's the definition of tough.
Yeah, that's because guys really didn't even know they had broken legs. They were just out there playing.
Yeah, man. Listen. We could do this all day, man. I love this type of talk.
I do too.
Yeah.
People nowadays forget that football didn't start. People think football started today. Like, oh, Patrick Mahomes. Like, yeah, we had Brett Favre, we had John Elway, we had other guys who played similar to what Patrick Mahomes did. Now, I will grant you, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback prospect I've seen in the last decade, even better than Andrew Luck. But what I'm saying is, we can't just put it in a vacuum. We got to remember these guys.
I don't even know about that, homeboy. Andrew Luck was that dude, man. Andrew Luck was that dude, man. If you put Andrew Luck with them Kansas City teams, they win just as many Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes.
I'm saying he's getting there. I mean, listen. Patrick Mahomes does things that listen. I love Andrew Luck, man. Trust me, I love Andrew Luck. But there are things that Mahomes is doing with his arms that I have not seen in quarterbacks do, and that shouldn't be doing.
Arm talent wise, yes, I'll give you that.
I mean, the guy is jumping to the left, throwing to his right, and it's on a rope 60 yards. I mean, these are things you don't see. And what I'm saying is,
what about the diving throw?
I mean, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. He threw a ball last year 60 yards on a rope to a guy in stride, and the guy went for another 20 for an 80-yard play. And I just sat there in my living room like, damn. Like, just damn. That boy is that good. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm not trying to put him on a pedestal, but for me, Mahomes is just one of a kind to me. We don't get them that often. Like Trevor Lawrence to me is Trevor Lawrence. I'm not really that excited about him.
Me neither.
I mean, he looks like Goldilocks. I've seen these type of quarterbacks before. You're going to Jacksonville. I don't know how good Jacksonville's going to be and how they're going to support him. That's really what this is about, right? That's how
they're going to be as good as the Jets are going to be. Oh, Chris Bucco.
Yeah,
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to be like a 100% bust, but I don't think he's going to live up to the hype.
Can I ask you, the panel here, just one question real quick? I mean, do you think that these quarterbacks would be running as much as they are and scrambling if there were guys on the defense like Jack Lambert and
No.
and some of them
Hell
other.
no.
No, it's just the defensive rules. Period.
Yeah,
Well,
Like the
that's
quarterbacks can't be touched anymore. If they would have played, if these quarterbacks, even the times when Brett Favre was coming to prominence, the quarterbacks were still able to get touched. You remember
Right.
Warren Sapp used to kick, man. Warren Sapp used to put it on Brett Favre.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you get right back up and say good hit. But now
Right,
it's like the Autobahn out here now, man. You listen to when Ray Lewis talks, man. You really can't play defense anymore.
Well, that brings me to my point about the fumbles everyone talks about. Defensive players are now taught to swipe the ball out of the quarterback's hands. That's why you're going to have more fumbles by the quarterback position this year, and they're becoming runners. Everyone's like, oh, fumbling is going to be a problem. Well, you got to look at the game itself, right? The game itself is evolving where defensive ends aren't tackling quarterbacks anymore. They're just hitting hands. So you're going to have guys do fumbles and have more fumbles go up and down. So, yeah, the guy has 10 fumbles, but the defense is now taught to tackle and play like that, right?
Yeah.
So a lot more quarterbacks are going to have a lot more fumbles this year. That's why I'm like, when people talk about Daniel Jones and the fumbling issue, I'm more worried about him like butt fumbling like Mark Sanchez, you know?
Right.
Like that's not worried. I'm not worried about him being in the pocket and the guy swiping his hand because that's what they're paid to do. We forget the defense gets paid to do these things. And it just pisses me off when people don't see that type of stuff going on. You got to watch the game evolve. I'm sorry, I'm going on my soapbox.
Thank you.
You know, another thing, reason why defenses ain't the way they used to be anymore, because the mindset has changed. You don't have the nasty mindsets the way our defensive lines did when we got the Super Bowls. Back when Lawrence Taylor and them were playing. Even the Buccaneers, man. These days you got that one main guy really on the line, like a JJ Watt or Aaron Donald. But in them Buccaneers days, you had Warren Sapp, you had Chidi Ahanotu, you had Simeon Rice. Everybody had a nasty mindset. Strahan,
Eric Brooks.
Derek Brooks.
I remember Hardy Nickerson before Brooks and them got there.
Right, Barber.
Yeah, Barber. You were able to get physical like
Rondé.
DB. Like you
Barber,
don't have that
Lynch
mindset
was a beast.
anymore.
You had Brad Johnson. I'm just kidding.
You don't have that mindset with these defenses anymore, and that's the reason why records are being broken every year because
you can't hit anybody. You can't hit anybody. I mean, they're telling me that Devontae Smith's not going to be a good player because he can't get off the line. What are you talking about? They don't even play press man anymore, right? You can't touch anybody these days.
Do you think that these receivers would be going off the way they do if they knew they could get hit over the middle by a safety like John or Steve Atwater and them back in the day?
Oh,
when you went across the middle back in the day, you earned them yards.
Rod Woodson,
because you knew you was going to catch one.
Ronnie Lott used to take heads off. Ronnie Lott tried to kill you.
Yo, Brian Dawkins injured my favorite player, Ike Hilliard.
Yep.
Drilled that guy.
Yo, we had a guy like that back in the day. We had a dangerous man over the middle. Sean Williams used to try to kill people.
Oh, yeah. Sean Williams used to kill people across the middle.
Sam Garnes could hit too. Sam Garnes could lay the lumber, man.
So
I love Jesse Osgood too. Bring me back.
It's a totally different league, but man, I could keep these GOAT conversations going forever because I could tell you Dan Marino was the greatest prospect to come out, and John Elway was right behind him.
I got a question for you guys. Who is the most underrated Hall of Fame defensive back in NFL history?
Darryl Green.
Okay.
Darryl Green was very underrated, but he was a very good corner.
For a long time.
I'm sitting here trying to go back. Defensive corner, you said?
Defensive back. It can be
defensive back. So safety or corner. My God, there's so many.
I got mine.
He'll have to come back on me because I'm going to have to think about this for a minute.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if I could call mine underrated though, because he was on the NFL 100 list.
I mean, the Giants
NFL 100 list is overrated. You got to come to the Mrs. 100 list.
I'm just gonna call mine. Edwin Tennell.
Yeah, that's something I'd have to think about. But Pat, you're gonna have Williams. Pat's going to have one of these GOAT streams where we're talking about old football and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I have all you guys on there, but
I'll give you one guy. I wanted
to
mention the guy earlier. Pat definitely knows Joe. This guy, I was a big fan of his, man. Bruce Smith, man.
Oh yeah,
Bruce
Smith was an absolute beast.
200
One
sacks.
of the greats.
200.
He still has an all-time sack record, don't he?
Yep.
He's right up there. He's top 3 or 4 ever. That's for sure.
No, he's number 1.
Yeah, Bruce Smith was on another level as well, man.
Yeah, him and Cornelius Bennett worked really good together.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff.
Cornelius Bennett, Darryl Talley. Remember those guys?
Yep, Darryl Talley. That was a hell of a linebacking core Buffalo had.
Ooh, that
team deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Washington in the secondary. I got a guy named Washington as a corner.
Yep.
You have Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Michael Strahan. These are some of the greats, man.
Yeah. Reggie's definitely up there too.
Reggie White is probably the second.
We need to go into receivers because I love me some receivers, yo.
My favorite team to never win a Super Bowl, man. The greatest team to never win a Super Bowl was those 4
Andre
years.
Reed, man, one of the underrated players in the Hall of Fame. You want to talk about underrated players?
Him, Art Monk. Art Monk is very underrated.
Steve Largent.
Steve Largent.
I love Steve Largent.
No, I did too.
I always felt for that Buffalo Bills team because you see what Jim Kelly went through afterwards. All these years with the cancer and losing his son, it's been a punch after a punch after a punch for this fucking guy.
Right.
Win one of those 4 Super Bowls, man.
You got me guys watching. I got to go back and watch some NFL films right now, man. I'm just too fired up right now talking about this old football. I love history, man. People forget about this.
I'm going off all stuff that I've seen in documentaries.
Listen,
Tim Brown.
I'm older than you, but I'm not that old. I don't know about the Raiders of the 1960s. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch NFL films.
Jim Brown. There's Jim Brown.
A lot of people forget about that Vikings purple people.
People eaters, yeah, man. Hank Stram, matriculate the ball at the field, boys. Matriculate the ball at the field. A
lot of people forget. A lot of people forget that Deacon Jones was Bruce Smith before Bruce Smith.
Yeah.
He said he has more sacks. He's like, put my sack total on there. I'm probably number 1.
Sitting here talking about old school football, I wish they named the plays like they used to, the ghost to the post and the immaculate reception and all that great stuff.
You don't get that no more because it's really not. It's a business. It's more of a business, or it's more entertainment now. A lot of those guys back in the day, they were fighting for real pride, like they took it to heart. That's why you've seen so many gruesome injuries and stuff back then, man. Because those dudes were warriors. They were like, this was legit. I'm trying to hurt you out here. You're not going to get to this touchdown. I'm trying to hurt you.
Oh my God, yes.
You know what is a big part of that also, Pat? A big part of that, and it's in all of sports, maybe except for hockey. These players today want to be best friends and sign each other's jerseys after the game.
Social media.
You did not roll with the other team, man, or your own teammates will beat the shit out of you, man. They hated each other.
I can't hear Miz anymore.
Miz speaking facts right there.
Censored himself.
It is.
I think YouTube censored him.
But listen,
the problem
man,
is
I'm sorry, but that's the truth, man.
The problem is snowflakes.
If you guys want to see something ugly,
I grew up in that area. I'm talking from the heart, man. Even when we played sports in the streets, when your crew played another crew from another block or another field, you got into brawls because you hated each other's guts. There was going to be blood that day. That's just the way it was.
Exactly. And another thing is, the NFL only plays 2 sides of the ball now. You used to play Iron Man football back in the day where you actually played both offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
And now they don't do that. I mean, it's the only professional sport that does that. Like, you have hockey, you play both sides. Basketball, you play both sides. Baseball, you play both sides. NFL, call me in the punt team. Call me in the defense. You don't got to play both sides. I mean, it's a joke now. I don't want you shaking my hand. I want Brandon Jacobs pain. That's what I want. I want you to hurt your opponent. I want you to step on their throats. I want you to kick them in the nuts. We don't like you. I don't want to shake hands after the game. I want to go beat you up after the game.
I believe we were one of the last teams that were like that, though, Adam, with Brandon Jacobs. Brandon Jacobs was one of those type players. That's why I always have respect for that guy.
Yep.
Brandon Jacobs was one of those type players. Bradshaw was one of those type players.
We need dogs on this team. That's what we need.
Yo, Ray Lewis said that day when we kicked the Ravens in 2008, the year when Plaxico shot himself.
Miz keeps getting censored.
We beat the Ravens 30-10. I remember after the game that night, Ray Lewis called the Giants O-line the nastiest, dirtiest O-line in the league, and he said that's a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to talk about something ugly? Chris he might be too young for this, but Miz might remember. You know it's damn ugly when you're quarterback and you're for the New York Jets and you do a commercial in pantyhose. Which is worse, the buck fumble or your quarterback doing a commercial wearing pantyhose?
Yeah, but people love Joe Namath. They don't love Mark Sanchez.
Right.
They don't love Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, the social media thing has really killed a lot of the warriorness in the players of this league.
Yeah.
Social media is everything. Everybody's trying to get noticed. Everybody wants to be everybody's friend and get likes and follows. I do miss those times because, like I said, I always like Brandon Jacobs. When he threw that ball off the Cowboys clock, that showed that we were not to be played with that year. Everybody was on the Cowboys jocks that year because they had T.O. and everybody, and they was blowing through everybody. But Brandon Jacobs set that tone, man. Like, he was that dude for us on offense.
I'm sorry. Jacobs chased Rex Ryan off the field for covering our trophies on Christmas Eve on the cruise.
Yeah, you remember that?
This man said, and I quote, Rex Ryan is a stupid bastard.
He told Rex Ryan to his face, "I'm the wrong guy to be messing with."
Well, that's why I think I like Kadarius Toney. Because if you watch Tony's highlights, he got a little dog in him. You know what I mean? He's getting up, he's jawing with the other team. That's Robinson doing the same thing. He's jawing with the other players. The Giants need a little dog in them. And that's why I like this team going forward, because they got some dogs on this team. You know, they got a little bit of killer instinct on there. They got some guys who are going to pardon my French. They're going to put their dick on the table and say, let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
I was going to say that Adam's right. This Giants team has a little of that old school in them, and it's because of Judge.
Yes, I believe Joe Judge is going to do wonders for Ojulari as well. Him and Patrick Graham. It's your bedtime, man.
No, I did want to say one thing. I did want to say one thing, though. If you guys will notice, and I tell this to all my friends, you have to wait the whole year to see it, but maybe you noticed the last few years. While there's fantasy football, you can't play defense physical. But in week 16, when all the fantasy leagues end, you'll notice the referees put their flags away and the game gets physical into the playoffs. Very physical.
Yeah, fantasy football messed it up for a lot of people too, because you got to have those guys get their stats to keep fantasy football going.
I'm going to watch out for that now, man. That's an interesting observation.
I tried fantasy football.
Take a look at that, Adam, man. Take a look at that. In week 15 or 16, when all the fantasy leagues end and there's no more little kids and a million jerseys and all the points and all the offense, so that more fans that don't have teams but they just want to watch the fantasy shit, once the fantasy leagues end in week 15, week 16, you'll notice the game, the physicality steps up big time, and the flags, they disappear in January. I'm telling you.
I tried fantasy.
That's the only thing that's keeping playoff football alive.
I tried fantasy once. I hate it.
Hey, Chris, I'm sorry about picking on your Jets. It's just you guys wear green like this other team that we can't stand, and I got you confused for a minute.
I've tried fantasy before. I just don't like it. It's not fun.
I'm not rooting against the Giants. I'm not picking some guy who's going to play the Giants, and I got to hope he goes off so that I can win against my team.
I'm not doing that. No.
Listen, I do the same thing. Ezekiel Elliott came in my draft. I said I can't draft him. Someone said why. I said I don't pick the opposing team's players.
No.
Right.
How they win. He's like, well, you could win the league. I said, I don't care. I'd rather sacrifice my $50 than see Zeke Elliott run
for 200 yards against my team.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not fun. I'm an old
always play
I'm not
because I have friends.
fantasy crap.
So I just play to keep up with relationships. That's it.
Well, guys, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up soon, man. Give me your final thoughts. And man, hey, by the way, thank you guys for always being here. Miz, Joe, Adam, I think you're gonna be one of my new guys. Logan, you're always here. Even though it's past your bedtime, you're always here for some reason. But you guys and originals like Champ, I pray that you guys are around this channel for forever, man. Hopefully I'll be doing this for a long time, man. These conversations, man, keep you going. I hope I took your minds off the things that you were going through before you got on the channel.
Thank you very much.
The reason why I want to talk and interact with you guys, I know we go through a lot in life, but hey, Giants makes me happy every time, especially when we win.
Thank you for letting me be the crazy man that I am on this channel. I don't really get to express it much on a day-to-day basis, so to get out with you guys is fun, and I love doing it, and I'm honored to be on your show and as a guest on your show.
Oh yeah, anytime, Adam. But you know what Adam is? He's a true. I don't know if you're from New York. You sound like it, but those New Yorkers, if they're passionate, it's something to watch, man.
Listen, man, wait till you see me on Sundays. Wait till you see me on Sundays.
Don't mess with them, like, because they can do anything to you. You never know what they're gonna do.
I get like the Incredible Hulk. I'll fight 10 Eagle fans if I have to in the stadium. I do not care. I am that guy.
This is between me and y'all and the original people on this panel. That's one of my goals, man. I gotta get everybody to a Giants game, at least one Giants game.
I've never been to a game before. I gotta go.
We can tailgate and really get to see each other, man. Like, I really think you guys are pretty fucking cool, man.
Well, thank you.
I seen two sides of Joe. I seen Joe with the beard. I thought he was an old guy. He cut off the beard. He looks like he's 32.
I like that.
Crazy.
It's the Jesus with the haircut. That's what it is.
That's right. I got good hair too, darn it. I'm 52 and I still got it all. They're jealous.
I got good hair.
If Joe told somebody he didn't know that he was part of a rock band, they'd be like, "Hell yeah, which band you was in?"
I'm part of the.
I swear, that guy. Joe was looking like 58 with the beard. He cuts it off. He looks younger than me. That's crazy.
Right, he lost 30 years,
man.
52 in June.
Okay.
There you go. Man, listen, man.
I was trying to get together for a game
this year.
Logan, I was you, man. I don't know how old you are, but I was you, man. At 11 years old, when the internet came around, I was printing out every stupid free agency person. I was on every magazine. I knew everybody's stats from front to back. Hell, I'm still a nerd. I know every pick from 1995 first round up until 2021. Like, I can name you where they went to school, what jersey number they wear. Like, I'm insane. It's insane.
I'm the same way, man.
Age, probably your age, and I'm still that nutcase right now, and I'm not gonna stop being that nutcase as long as the Giants play football.
And my mom used to get on my ass, boy, go to sleep. You're not playing for that team. I used to be with the Giants all the time.
And I say I'm that guy that says we. I don't care. I say we because I believe
our team,
man. This is my
team, man.
Yo, we're more invested than the players because there's nights I remember growing up where we lost the game and I don't sleep for 2 days. You know, I know you all went through it. So.
Right,
you know, the game I cried at was the Ravens Super Bowl loss. That's the only one I've ever cried at, and I took it hard. I was like 16, and I was like, I threw the tape out the window. That's how pissed off I was. I used to tape every game. That's how nerdy I was.
The only game I've ever cried or gotten so pissed off is the Evan Ingram drop.
Hey, that Super Bowl hurt me.
Nah, that's nothing, man. That Evan Ingram is garbage. That's nothing, man.
We are losing the game when the ref calls a holding play on a play where you're supposed to tackle the running back, i.e. Keith Hamilton, and the ball falls into Jesse Armstead's hands and he runs it for a pick six, and you call a holding play? But you need to go back to study your friggin' rule book. That's what you do.
Anyone knows that's a different game if he lets that score go in. It's 7-7, and it's a whole different football game.
I had to watch The Miracle in the Meadowlands live.
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, no.
I have never
watched number 2.
I have never seen anybody so depressed. My father was a
fumble.
Die-hard Giants fan. I mean, die-hard. He was worse than we are. And he's like, the Giants are going to the playoffs. All they have to do is kneel the ball.
Why would you run?
Well, here's the thing. The play, it was called in to run, but half the line didn't block because they thought he was going to kneel it. The other half did block because they thought it was a running play.
I didn't know
Zonka
that.
didn't even try to run the ball. He thought he was just going to go up and protect the quarterback because the Eagles were doing dirty hits. What Miz was talking about, you hate that team. You scrap every second because you don't know what's going to happen. That's old school football. So when they brought the play in, half the team or half the players thought it was a kneel, the other half thought it was a run. So that's when Herm Edwards blew through. Pisarcik went to hand the ball off to Zonka. They fumbled it and he ran it in, and that was the end of it. My father just sat there with his dude. I'm 8 years old. I left the house. I didn't even stick around. I was that smart, that young. Yes. I left the house and rode my bike around the block.
I'd like to say I'm not that much of an angry fan. I'll scream. I won't really hit anything. Like my uncle has punched holes through the wall before. I'm not like an angry fan. I just scream a lot. I've never really broken anything, but damn.
Yeah. Until you've broken something, you're not a true fan, man. You got to break something. You got to break something. I've broken a remote control.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've broken a couple of glasses. I've broken a couple of remotes. That Super Bowl, I think I broke my mom's vase that day.
Oh, I take that back. I kicked my couch one time and some screws popped out of it. There you go.
Yeah, I think I broke my mom's vase that day, and I had to leave the house for a couple of hours. So
you need to watch something shatter. You need to watch something shatter. Take a glass this year, and when there's a loss, one of the glasses you don't like in your cupboard, and go outside and just smash it. I'm telling you, you'll understand what I'm talking about when you do that. You'll be like, this is what I needed.
Well,
that most devastating game I remember was I'll be honest with you, man. I sat there and I didn't move and I didn't breathe for 20 minutes. I just stared at the TV and I wasn't even staring at anything. Was the game we blew against the 49ers in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
That
one was tough.
And I was in shock.
I'm glad you brought that one up. That one was tough. I was in so much shock that game. I swear my face was just looking at the screen like this. Because I saw it happening. I saw it happening.
Yes.
38,
I saw it happening the whole
38-14.
Oh.
And I remember when Michael Strahan was pointing at T.O. and saying, look at the scoreboard when he got that one touchdown.
Michael Strahan was like, look at the scoreboard, we're still winning. Nope.
Yeah.
And I kept looking, I was like,
blow the game, but the referees blew the game because it was a penalty
because that was a
goal.
pass interference.
Yep.
Yes.
See, Miz, there are certain games I block out of my mind. You know, the 2000 Super Bowl and the 2002, playoff game. Listen, I watch a lot of games over. That game I will not watch over. That game I just will not watch.
That was a torture. Game.
I probably think the worst. It's probably. Yeah, that's true. This is probably what I'm about to list is probably the third or second worst. I'm gonna go with the Deshaun Jackson punt return.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad too, but it's
I was at that
San Francisco one.
I was in
that San Francisco meltdown's higher than that, man.
That goddamn Jeff Garcia. Oh, I can't stand
that. That was a playoff game. They could have beaten Tampa Bay the next week. We know they could.
Oh yeah.
Right. We could have went back to the Super Bowl, man.
Yo, Adam, that Giants team was on such a hot streak and scoring so many points the last 5 or 6 weeks that they were on a road to a Super Bowl.
Right. I was already booking my tickets to Tampa. I'm like, we're going to Tampa Bay. Well, no one's going to stop us.
Like, man, that game was heartbreaking, and I watched that from start to finish, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, what time is it? Oh, goddamn, it's 1:40.
Yeah, I'm finna cut the stream off, guys, man. Glad I can help take you guys off your pain. I know you're going through it a little bit, but anytime I come on the stream, know you guys are welcome. And we always seem to figure out how to start talking about legends, and then we just start talking about everything, man. We can't help ourselves.
But that's good conversation.
Right.
My wife loves it because I get to talk football. It's not with her.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
thank y'all for always showing support,
Thank you.
And I'm gonna continue doing these streams, man. Hopefully, I can bring a little joy to everybody, man, especially if you're a Giants fan. But I'm gonna head out and thank y'all for tuning in. And until the next time, peace.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yep.
You guys.